She wouldn't let me up. I wanted to ask you, JC, you gonna let that Patrick Rose sit in your chat again and do that shit? Now you telling him just to go to Vegas? Hi, JC. Saying that you're not gonna get upset and nothing today? Huh? You've been letting them do it, letting them do it, letting them do it. Now look at you. Huh? You gonna do type some word in so he won't be able to post? Yesterday you were talking about how funny he was, saying, Monica just right in love with Patrick Rowe. JC, you just told him you don't talk to. I don't go to his chat. I don't talk to him. You watch me and you talk about me. Your people fucking watch me come in there and they fucking post and troll me in your chat. It ain't fucking rocket science. Wow, JC. Now you wouldn't even let me up on your panel. Come on up, JC. Come up here and tell me why you're letting all those people troll me in your chat and you won't let me in your chat. Tell me why. Come on, you ugly fucking Canadian bitch. Fucking sick of you, JC. No, you just wouldn't let me up. Watch how I treat you, JC. Your fat boy Randy's sitting there. They don't give a shit. They're going to do what they want and you let them. We'll watch your chat for as long as I'm live. And I'm going to take note of everybody that talks about me in your fucking chat. And I'm going to respond to every bit of it if I want to. Waiting for Wiggin to go in there. You going to do it to Wiggin? Are you sick of Wiggin and Daughter of Truth fucking talking about Billy? Because that's what they do. JC? Are you sick of Wiggin and fucking Daughter of Truth doing it? I fucking smash you motherfuckers. Can't play fair. Give me a wrench, JC. Let me in your chat. Chicken shit. I'll liven the place up. About it, JC? Huh? You gonna say the same thing to Wiggin that you just said to fucking Patrick Rowe? You've been letting them do. You've been entertained by it, JC. It entertained you. Except right now it's not because I got all you motherfuckers right by the scruff of the neck. I really do. It looks like she removed his comment, so hopefully I got that problem solved. Now he's in Vegas chat saying F you, JC. This is what you get, JC. This is what you fucking get right here. You make me sick, Tom Carlisle. You really do. You make me motherfucking sick, boy. I'll get you a new Harley Davidson. You really are a low-life motherfucker, Wiggin. You really are. Trying to bribe me. Well, that solved that problem for now. See if it comes back. Well, no.
Already have over 100 listeners booked for our July 2026 Mediterranean Sea Cruise. If you haven't booked yet, what are you waiting for? Join in on the fun.
There, back to normal.
Cruise.com.
Are your patients asking you questions, perhaps about managing their treatment, or maybe about making a change? Now is the time to talk to your patients. Now is the time to talk about Dovato. Dovato, a combination of dolutegravir and lamivudine, is a treatment option with 2 medicines in 1 pill. Visit DovatoHCP.com to learn more today and to access full prescribing information, including boxed warning. This ad is for U.S. healthcare professionals and brought to you by ViiV Healthcare.
This ad is brought to you by GSK. Have you considered starting Ojjaara momelotinib for your appropriate patients? Review the efficacy of Ojjaara, including data from our head-to-head trials, Simplify-1 and Momentum, at startojjaara.com. That's startojjaara.com. This ad is brought to you by GSK. Have you considered starting Ojjaara momelotinib for your appropriate patients? Review the efficacy of Ojjaara, including data from our head-to-head trials, Simplify-1 and Momentum, at startojjaara.com. That's startojjaara.com.
But I don't want to get a flu shot.
You don't want to get the flu again. It's just a teensy little poke. Hi guys, I know you don't like noodles, so I brought Fuzzy.
What is that?
It's a device that uses vibration and ice to help take the sting out of shots.
See, hon, that wasn't so bad.
Wait, you did it already?
Yep, Fuzzy helps. And Kenny is the only pharmacy that has him.
I'm going to tell everyone I know.
Great. They can schedule online at kennydrugs.com.
Banking has its perks. We make sure of it. Open an account with Community Bank and get the features that work for you, including higher rates on CDs, lower rates on personal loans, early pay up to 1 day sooner. You'll even get a free Greenlight subscription. Crush your financial goals and open the right account for you. Stop into a local branch or visit cbna.com/bankhappyperks to open your account today. Conditions and restrictions apply. Member FDIC.
Keeping your pet healthy can feel like a lot sometimes, but PetSmart makes it super simple. They've got food tailored to your pet's needs, supplements so you can stay ahead of any issues, and even prescriptions that show up right at your door. And here's the hack. Set it all up on auto ship. It just arrives when you need it. Plus, you save 35% on your first PetSmart auto ship order and 5% on the ones after that. You can stay on top of your pet's healthy routine without stressing. Order what they need and set up auto ship at PetSmart.com.
Now from the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center,
WMAL traffic this update. Dealing with traffic delays in the district and northeast of DC with jammed traffic southbound on DC 295, just after Eastern Avenue, over 2 just past East Capitol Street, adding upwards of 10 minutes. Reports in northwest DC of 3rd Street tunnels northbound delays. Dealing with D Street's U.S. Capitol exit 9, over 2 New York Avenue's moderate congested traffic, and this afternoon's update. I'm Dr. Gavin Montgomery, now from GarageDoorRepair.com. The WMAL Storm Watch 7 forecast.
A few more passing clouds tonight, otherwise clear and cool, right around 50 degrees Friday morning. After a cool start to the day, another beautiful and sunny afternoon with most neighborhoods getting to the low 70s. I'm 7 News meteorologist Mark Pena in the First Alert Weather Center.
Right now, 70 degrees in Washington. I'm Heather Curtis on WMAL.
He's here. Now broadcasting from the underground command post. Deep in the bowels of a hidden bunker, somewhere under the brick and steel of a nondescript building, we've once again made contact with our leader of the crime, the Den.
Here, our number 877-381-3811, 877-381-3811. There's a lot to get to, including the government shutdown farce, which we will get to, including the murders that took place in suburban Manchester, England. But before we do, I've been noticing something that I want to bring to your attention. You know, folks, when you read Karl Marx or you read some of the others of his ilk, Rousseau or Hegel, but don't worry about that. I'm just saying when you read them, they act like they're starting the world all over again. That whatever came before is bad and whatever came before is irrelevant. There's nothing to learn from it. When you watch the Marxists and the Islamists in the streets, they don't even know history. They don't even know American history. They don't care. They're hardcore ideologues. The world begins today. You could be a 33-year-old Marxist, Islamist, Jew hater, American hater who's running for mayor. He knows everything. Everything. They could be a TV host or even a radio host. They spend more time on the internet, more time talking in their own little circle than they do actually informing and educating themselves. But I've noticed this problem is not just on the radical left. I'm seeing this problem among podcasters, TV hosts, and some radio hosts. They believe the world begins with them, and the world begins today. That they're the only ones who have figured out that the left is bad and how to fight the left. Now, this is really asinine. We stand on the shoulders of the people who came before us. All of a sudden, our history is wiped out, including the history of the
So
conservative-
murders in Manchester, England. First I've heard of it.
Let me tell you a little story. Let me tell you why some of our conservative forefathers are a lot braver, a lot smarter than some who beat their chests and pat the back of their heads today on TV and radio. Most of you have heard of William F. Buckley Jr. He was eccentric. He was an intellectual scholar. He had his little facial tics and so forth. But he founded modern-day conservatism. And modern-day conservatism brought us to this day with Donald Trump. The conservative movement, not the Republican Party, the conservative movement. The conservative movement has always had different factions. Always. There was never one faction that everybody unified behind. There were general principles and beliefs that people unified behind. There were libertarians, paleo-conservatives, neo-conservatives, traditional conservatives, religious conservatives, fiscal conservatives, social conservatives. They all pulled together under Ronald Reagan. And Ronald Reagan owed a lot of his progress, of his success, to, among others, William F. Buckley Jr. of National Review. They were close friends. And Buckley was a close advisor. And yet, I should tell you, in 1976, Buckley backed Ford against Reagan for a variety of reasons, none of which were philosophical. He was wrong about that, as we're all wrong about a lot of things.
But that was in
At
1976.
the birth of the Barry Goldwater movement, which was the early rise of this new conservatism, this new conservative movement. Again, Buckley and his cohorts were very much involved in that.
We turned 15 that year.
Crucially important for laying the foundation for Reagan, Reagan laying the foundation for Trump. This is understandable. This is a very important sequence of events. And yet some people on radio and TV who've never been involved really in the conservative movement have no idea what the hell they're talking about. In fact, some of them in 2016 were not just backing other candidates other than Trump. They were trashing the hell out of Trump and said they could never back him. Now they carry the flag. Bill Buckley was a very brave man, a very principled man. I didn't know him much, but I knew of him. Had an enormous impact on me at the age of 13 and 14. There were people who came before me, people who came before Rush, people who came before Charlie, very, very important people who fought the good fight and fought it well. Buckley and Rush were very good friends. David Horowitz, who also went to college campuses, who also went to events where the audiences were highly hostile, who came out of the communist movement, the Black Panthers, built a tremendously important organization, tremendously important books, had a great amount of influence on my generation and the generation before me. Crucially important people who are not to be dismissed. Everything didn't begin today. But Buckley did something that the vast majority of modern day MAGA, modern day conservatives in and out of the media don't have the guts to do. They don't have what it takes. You see, Buckley did more than found National Review, crucially important magazine. He did more than that. Buckley did more than found the modern conservative movement, which led to so much, including eventually the election of Donald Trump. Indeed, Make America Great Again was Ronald Reagan's campaign slogan in 1984-85. Peace through strength was Reagan's foreign policy slogan when he ran for president the first time in 1976 and again in 1980. This is a good thing. Edmund Burke talks about it. How one generation is linked to the next. This didn't just happen, MAGA. And yet, Donald Trump is a historic, iconic, unique figure who's carried off things and been able to do the things I don't think anybody else could do. But my focus isn't on that, because everybody knows how tremendous I think he is. My focus is on an attitude out of ignorance of some people in their 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s who think that they have discovered the world, that almost nothing came before them. William F. Buckley Jr. was watching and seeing something that troubled him a great deal. A great deal. Buckley was a faithful Catholic, a traditional Catholic, a believing Catholic. But he saw something, was watching something, was reading something that began to appear in his own pages of National Review by columnists. And back then, radio was getting big under Rush. There wasn't a Fox News. There was the counterculture, the independent media platforms that were mostly based on magazines and columns and that sort of thing. The predecessor to podcasting and so forth. He was very troubled by what he was saying, very troubled by what he was hearing, because he knew his history. He knew what it could lead to. He knew that it would poison and destroy the conservative movement and the effort to create a workable, powerful conservative movement to counter the left, the New Deal, the 1960s radicals and rioters, the New Left. He understood that this poison within the conservative movement would destroy it and destroy any chance of success in defeating the Democrats and the left and defeating the Republican establishment. What did he see? In fact, it was so bad that he committed an entire edition of his magazine from cover to cover to address this issue. And then he went and he wrote a book about it. By the way, he created Firing Line, the first true debate program, where he too wanted to take on people who disagreed with him. And he did. Firing Line. He took on people who disagreed with him. It was a debate show of his values and beliefs versus other scholars, writers, producers. The first of its kind. Firing Line that went on for over 2 decades. Hugely successful. He invented that genre. What was it that he saw that compelled him to take action? We're going to take a short break and I'm going to explain it to you. We'll be right back.
Mark Levin. News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news. Some big news. Just before Charlie Kirk died, he issued a stark warning of terrifying dangers and threats ahead for those who stand for truth. Charlie wrote this in his last published work, the foreword for the new book, Pagan Threat. Authored by Pastor Lucas Miles, Charlie said that Pagan Threat could save America. Charlie said you must read internal.
Gee, that's just in time, Patrick.
It has the plan to stop the wokeism infecting America. Already a #1 Amazon bestseller,
Wow.
Pagan Threat is available wherever books are sold. Get Pagan Threat free with Newsmax's
Me second.
special offer and save $30. For offer details, go online now.
I'm busy
to
eating popcorn.
paganthreat.com. That's paganthreat.com. Millions are tuning into Newsmax on all major cable systems. They're downloading our free Newsmax app on their smartphones. And they're getting Pagan Threat to see Charlie Kirk's final words. Go today to paganthreat.com. That's paganthreat.com. Newsmax sponsored this message.
WMAL traffic. This update in the district dealing with an accident in northwest DC on 9th Street, just north of Pennsylvania Avenue, requiring authorities and EMS. Southwest DC also reporting an additional accident. Northbound on 695 at the 3rd Street Tunnel, traffic backed up as far back as the Navy Yards exit 1B, adding a nickel to the northbound traffic commute. I'm Dr. Catherine Montgomery, now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Storm Watch 7 forecast.
Tonight, partly cloudy with lows in the 50s. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with highs in the lower 70s.
Most people would rather remove a nest of irate hornets than search for auto and home insurance. That's why the Zebra searches for you, comparing over 100 insurance companies to find savings no one else can. Compare today at thezebra.com. I think I'll wait inside.
But I don't want to get a flu shot.
You don't want to get the flu again. It's just a teensy little poke. Hi, guys. I know you don't like needles, so I brought Fuzzy.
Just last night, JC, you were talking about I had shit stains on my couch. And there's your buddy Colin in here. What is with you fucking people? JC, how come you wouldn't let me up on your panel? It's all right. I'll remember you. Vegas is pretty much dead.
That show up right at your door. And here's the fact. Set it all up on ownership. It just arrives when you need it. Plus, you save 35% on your first PetSmart auto ship order and 5% on the ones after that. You can stay on top of your pet's healthy routine without stressing. Order what they need and set up auto ship at PetSmart.com.
There are 1,000 ways to say it.
Nope. Knock it off. Shut it down. Dream on. No dice. Give it a rest. Not cheats.
Or just
All text. You focus on the road.
as a passenger, you have the power to prevent an accident. There are 1,000 ways to stop a distracted driver.
What's it to you? So what? Big fucking deal. You got your scooter, go for a ride.
Scammers, stalkers, criminals. Tired of being a target?
So aren't you?
Take your privacy back.
You're a man just like I am.
Sites across the web.
Ain't no difference.
Because if they can't find you, they can't harm you. In one year,
You're not very smart, Patrick. You're really not.
That's INCHENI.com.
Why don't you go to JC's and cry? Huh? She's sick of you tonight?
The consumers stand to lose it all with the Durbin-Marshall credit card mandate bill. Big government mandates favor corporate mega stores and allow them to choose.
You guys make fun of Trump that his cheeks are orange, and you guys make fun of me, my cheeks are red. Which, red cheeks or rosy red cheeks, it's, comes from living in the winter.
To learn more, that's guardyourcar.com, paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition. Making sense of
You are. You're one lazy son of a bitch, Patrick. What do you do, Patrick? What the fuck do you? You were homeless 2 years ago.
Making sense of the economy because it's your money and your retirement. Download the WMEL app to stream us for free.
The riots that took place in the 1960s were every bit as bad as the riots that took place in the 2020, except worse. In more cities, the violence was unbelievable. You had these communist new left front groups. It was terrible. You had assassinations. John Kennedy, Robert Kennedy, Martin Luther King. Again, these were horrific times. Horrific times. I'm very troubled by the dismissal, again, like Marxists, of what came before us here as conservatives, as MAGA. Make America great again. Again, a phrase that Reagan used and so forth. And you look at the Reagan numbers. Reagan broke the back of the Democrat Party hold on the unions. He was endorsed by the Teamsters Union, not once, but twice. The forgotten man, that whole issue, that whole area. Again, Reagan broke the back of the Democrat Party. He got nearly 60% of the vote. Won over 500 electoral college votes. You don't do that by just winning the patricians and so forth. And yet, I talk to people who even dismiss Reagan. Big deal. Greatest tax cuts in American history, massive economic growth that actually he grew the economy right into the Clinton administration. That's 2 presidencies away. Defeated the Soviet Union, pushed communism out of our hemisphere and out of Northern Africa, massively rebuilt our military, brought respect back to the country after Carter. He's a nobody. Bill Buckley's a nobody. Goldwater's a nobody. David Horowitz. How about Milton Friedman? Him too? Oh, yeah. Those are days gone by. The Bible's filled with days gone by. So what? So there's too many people, not just young people, some middle-aged people, who think like Marxists, who dismiss what's come before. There's good things that have come before, great things that have come before, horrific things that have come before. But the world doesn't begin today. The world won't begin with the next generation, who might think they're smarter than this generation. So what is it that Bill Buckley did that modern day conservatives, podcasters, radio hosts, TV hosts don't have the balls to do today? What is it? I'm not trying to play games. I have to explain it. It's a short segment. There's the break. When I come back at length, I'll deal with it. We'll be right back. The government is addicted to spending, and that reckless spending is driving up costs on everything for your family. It's not right, and it's not fair. But you don't have to be a victim. There are things you can do right now to lower your monthly expenses and mitigate the impact of inflation. Step 1, switch your cell phone service to Pure Talk. On America's most reliable 5G network, you don't have to sacrifice coverage to save a fortune every single month. Take a look at your cell phone bill. If you're with Verizon, AT&T, or T-Mobile, you're getting ripped off. I know how much you pay. Pure Talk will give you unlimited talk, text, and 6 gigs of data, just $30 a month. That's real money that can go to cover groceries or gas. And Pure Talk has never raised rates. Take action now. Dial pound 250 and say Mark Levin. You'll save 50% off your first month. Enjoy superior coverage and save money. Just dial pound 250 and say Mark Levin to switch to the cell service I'm on, Pure Talk.
WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station. Making sense of the news. News Talk 105.9. News now.
WMAL News at 6:30. I'm Heather Curtis. A Woodbridge man's arrested on abduction and human trafficking charges for allegedly kidnapping 2 children he didn't know. The kids flagged down an off-duty cop yesterday after escaping from the Quality Inn on Green Spring Drive, where they said they were being held hostage by a kidnapper. Responding Stafford County Sheriff's deputies say they found drugs and items related to prostitution in the room. Tyrone McDaniel is being held without bond. Senate Majority Leader John Thune says they'll try again to pass a funding bill tomorrow. If they come up short, he says he'll give Democrats the weekend to think about it before another vote on Monday. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffrey says they're open to bipartisan negotiations, but they want a permanent extension of Obamacare subsidies. President Trump says if Democrats don't approve a funding bill, he could cut their favorite projects. Traffic and weather next.
Did you know that parents rank teaching financial literacy as the toughest life skill? That's where Greenlight comes in, the debit card and money app made for families. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and track spending with real-time notifications. Kids learn how to earn, save, and spend responsibly, while parents have peace of mind knowing smart money habits are being built with guardrails in place. Try Greenlight risk-free today at greenlight.com/try now. That's greenlight.com/try now.
Meet Gabriella. National University supports all her ANs. With personalized attention, she can be a student and the family ringleader and a teacher. She's an Andrew. Explore National University's accredited online and hybrid courses and associate to doctorate degrees. National University, supporting all your ANs. Learn more at nu.edu.
When we ask home service pros about their challenges, we can sound a bit repetitive. Can't get quotes out fast enough? Jobber can help. Trouble finding new customers? Jobber can help. Spending too much time chasing checks? Jobber can help. Working every night? You get the idea. Jobber helps you organize, automate, and grow your home service business. Start your free trial today at jobber.com.
But I don't want to get a flu shot.
You don't want to get the flu again. It's just a teensy little poke.
Hi guys, I know you don't like needles, so I brought Fuzzy.
What is that?
It's a device that uses vibration and ice to help take the sting out of shots.
See, hon, that wasn't so bad.
Wait, you did it already?
Yep, Fuzzy helps. And Kinney is the only pharmacy that has him.
I'm going to tell everyone I know.
Great. They can schedule online at KinneyDrugs.com. Hey guys, have you heard of Goldbelly? It's this amazing site where they ship the most iconic, famous foods from restaurants across the country, anywhere, nationwide. I've never found a more perfect gift than food. Goldbelly ships Chicago deep dish pizza, New York bagels, Maine lobster rolls, and even Ina Garden's famous cakes. So, if you're looking for a gift for the food lover in your life, head to goldbelly.com and get 20% off your first order with promo code GIFT. That's goldbelly.com, promo code GIFT.
It's so vitally important that we have Roofing Lymphoma Society on our side, be the front runner in technologies for fighting cancer.
To give or get help, visit lls.org.
Making sense of your world.
I agree with everything you're saying.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
My heart just breaks for what's going on.
Making sense of the news. Your next $1,000 could be one text away. It's $5K a day on WMAL.
Mark Levin, the conscience of conservatism. Call Mark now at 877-381-3811.
So Bill Buckley did is he took on anti-Semitism among certain leading conservative authors, as well as at least one on the left, Gore Vidal. He took on Pat Buchanan. He took on Joseph Sobran, who was a widely read and popular scholar and columnist. And he took on Gore Vidal. And he talked about this evil of anti-Semitism in America. It was the early 1990s. He analyzed what they had said and what they were saying. And he said there's no getting around it. That these are anti-Semitic statements time and time again. He said, as for conservatives, we have to reject this. As a faithful, traditional Catholic, he said, we have to reject this. It will destroy what we believe in. It will destroy our mission, what we're trying to do. And he pointed out that this sort of thing has a way of metastasizing, taking on a life of its own. And he condemned it. Earlier, he had attacked the John Birch Society for, among other things, anti-Semitism, as well as other issues. At one point, the head of the John Birch Society was Charles Koch's father. Now he started the Quincy Institute with George Soros. Yes. Anti-Semitism, he decided, would disqualify people from being in his magazine. He also pointed out, as we point out today, that a lot of it is camouflaged in asking questions. We're just asking questions. Sound familiar? Sound familiar? He also pointed out that the attacks on Israel, in many ways, are another way to camouflage the attacks on Jews. Some of the bizarre, over-the-top, and outrageous charges against Israel are really the charges against Jews writ large. Sound familiar? So he committed an entire magazine, it's a bi-monthly magazine, to the issue. He broke it down. He said, I have to conclude that yes, Buchanan is an anti-Semite. That's what he concluded. And yes, Sobran, he is too. Now, Sobran was a columnist for his magazine, who we've known for decades. He also knew Pat for decades. Now, the difference between Bill Buckley then and conservatives, whether it's MAGA or some other type of conservative, he had the courage to speak out. He had the courage to name names. Some people I see pounding themselves on the back, their head, their chests, about how brave they are. Aren't brave at all. You see the rampant anti-Semitism that's growing. You see some fantastic Christian pastors who are speaking out against this, like John Hagee and many others. You see the rabbis speaking out against this. But where's the Bill Buckley today? Who is it? Really, the only person, well, there's a few, but primarily, who comes behind this microphone and calls a spade is me. There's a few others. The typical reaction among conservatives, or pseudo-conservatives, or former conservatives, is to make excuses, is to sit silently and acquiesce, to play the line, oh, we're only asking questions, or to try bizarrely, to split hairs. Well, he's a very good friend, you know. That doesn't mean I have to agree with everything. How many of you are very good friends with racist, bigots, Jew haters? But because you're good friends, you know, you split hairs. Well, that's what they say, but they're still good friends. We're good friends. That is appalling. Unconscionable.
Kind of what Monica does.
So before some of these reprobates and miscreants start trashing,
As long as they're not attacking her, she's okay.
For them, they need to look in the mirror because they can't hold
Same with JC.
I see people now who brag about who they are, what they say, how important they are. We said this and we said that. They were never involved in the Tea Party movement. They were never involved in.
Wiggin thinks I'm out here claiming that that I think I'm important.
They've never been an activist for anything. Even more than that, they've never done anything except advance their own careers. They've never done anything. I watch these people.
Hey, Wiggin, your girlfriend is a generation behind me.
They're pathetic.
All right. I'm old enough to be her dad.
Except themselves.
She's a mouthy fuck. She doesn't have any respect for her elders.
Now they're having tours.
So don't expect it back.
Now they're telling us who's good and who isn't. Now they're telling us, forget the past, forget these guys from the past. They didn't know what they were doing. They don't know what they're talking about. They sound like Marxists. And more, they're more Marxists than they are Americans in what they say and support. That's the truth.
God, this one probably too tight.
The other night I said to you that we have a younger generation with many wonderful exceptions. I mean, we have an all-volunteer military. Those are young people who are going overseas and defending us. Those are many young people, not all, but
those are your peers doing that. Vader, Holler, the rest of you.
But we have a lot of people in this country, younger people, who are spoiled.
Oh, I got ADD.
Some will vote for Mandami. It's just too tough to live in New York. Is that how you folks grew up? It's just too tough, so we have to elect a communist Islamist. It's just too tough, and I want freebies. It's just too tough, so somebody else should pay for my student loans. It's just too tough, so I should be able to have free transportation and free food. It's just too tough, so I expect somebody else, the government, to steal money from someone, raise their taxes in order that I might live better. Is that the answer? Is that how you were raised? It's certainly not how I was raised. That's the great thing about freedom, capitalism. If you're not happy with your life, do something about it. Don't blame everybody else. Don't put down everybody else. Don't destroy the system.
Hope you're listening, Acid Drip.
The appeal of Marxism in the left is this.
Touch hole.
Promises that are impossible, impracticable, that will never be fulfilled. That's what it is. Promises versus reality. I've thought about this and I wrote about it in On Power. I will promise you freebies. I will promise you free transportation, free food, equality, and that's the other word. They take that word and they bastardize it. What does equality mean? Equality doesn't mean everything is fair and everything is equal in the sense of material goods and so forth. You know what that is? That's North Korea. If you judge fairness by equality, then equality in impoverishment, equality in dungeons, yeah, you've accomplished your equality. But that's not what's meant by equality. Mm-hmm. So you have reality dealing with unreality. And no matter how many people have to suffer, be impoverished or die, 100 million. We need more examples, apparently. It just never has been tried. As I wrote in Americaverse, this is a typical retort. It's never really been tried. If it's your position of these people I'm talking about, that you're so smart, that the world begins today, then gone are Socrates and Aristotle. Gone are Abraham and Moses and Jesus. Gone is the greatest generation. So now you can play footsie with the Hitlerites and trash Churchill. Gone. You can start to flirt with Sharia law and reject our Constitution. This is what you're hearing from some of these podcasts.
Games people play.
Buckley stood up to them. I stand up to them. A relative handful of others stand up to them. And that's it today. That's it today. How many MAGA, that is conservative politicians, have stood up to Tucker Carlson? Can you count them on one hand, Mr. Producer? That's about it, right? How many? How many have condemned him? Or Owens? How many? Or Kelly? No, there are different gradations and degrees of this, don't get me wrong. But it is a cabal. It's a relatively small circle, but it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I don't want to hear anymore that Milton Friedman doesn't matter, that Bill Buckley doesn't matter, that Goldwater doesn't matter, that Ronald Reagan doesn't matter, that all greatness exists today, especially among broadcasters. You don't have an ounce of dignity or courage to speak out and stand up. Not all, but too damn many. I'll be right back.
Mark Levin. News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news. Your phone has a lot of apps, but how many of them help you make sense of your world? The new WMAL app gives you the latest headlines, perspective from the voices you trust, and weather info to keep you in the know, all without having to remember yet another password.
Yeah, I'm all right with that.
Stream your favorite shows, get the day's top headlines, and access our podcast archives, all with the new WMAL app.
Thank you.
Get the WMAL app today on Google Play or the Apple App Store, and stay connected. This WMAL traffic update begins in the district with reports of a shooting investigation in southeast D.C. K Street between South Capitol and 1st Street, reporting a shooting in the 2800 block of K Street in southeast. Camp Springs reporting construction's got the left lane closed on Branch Avenue northbound Route 5 between Alt Road and Beach Road. You'll find that construction between Alt and Beach Road in Prince George's County. I'm Dr. Gavin Montgomery, out from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Storm Watch 7 forecast.
Tonight, partly cloudy with lows in the 50s. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with highs in the lower 70s.
You're a fixer, a sprucer upper, a home service pro. So why waste time buried in admin and paperwork? Get back to what you love with Jobber, the all-in-one tool that fits your entire office in your back pocket. Start your free trial today at jobber.com.
But I don't want to get a flu shot.
You don't want to get the flu again. It's just a teensy little poke. Hi guys, I know you don't like needles, so I brought Fuzzy.
What is that?
It's a device that uses vibration and ice to help take the sting out of shots.
See, hun, that wasn't so bad.
Wait, you did it already?
Yep, Fuzzy helps. And Kinney is the only pharmacy that has
Buffering
I'm gonna tell everyone
motherfucker.
I know.
Great. They can schedule online at kinneydrugs.com.
Wow.
Most people would rather remove a nest of irate hornets than search for auto and home insurance. That's why the Zebra searches for you, comparing over 100 insurance companies to find savings no one else can. Compare today at thezebra.com. I think I'll wait inside.
Did you know that parents rank teaching financial literacy as the toughest life skill? That's where Greenlight comes in, the debit card and money app made for families. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, Set up chores, automate allowance, and track spending with real-time notifications. Kids learn how to earn, save, and spend responsibly, while parents have peace of mind knowing smart money habits are being built with guardrails in place. Try Greenlight risk-free today at greenlight.com/try now. That's greenlight.com/try now.
If you are among the 6 million Americans living with Alzheimer's or care for someone with Alzheimer's or dementia, there is free help and support available 24/7. Visit alz.org or call 800-272-3900.
I want to pause for a moment and thank you for listening and standing with us. The truth is, Blaze TV only exists because of people like you who refuse to let fear silence the truth. Darkness never has the final word, not in America. Not with me, not with us. This isn't about one personality or one network. It's about a family of people who believe America's worth defending and worth healing. And when you subscribe, you make sure the truth has a voice, not just today, but for the next generation. By joining with us, you're standing shoulder to shoulder with a community that knows America is worth fighting for. You're choosing courage over censorship, truth over fear, and light over darkness. So, folks, don't wait. You've heard me talk about the Blaze a lot. Join Blaze TV today. Go to levintv.com, LEVINTV.com/Levin. LevinTV.com/Levin. And get $20 off right now. And for as little as $8 a month, you could be part of shaping the future. That's levintv.com/Levin. LEVINTV.com/LEVIN.
Making sense of your world.
I agree with you 100%.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
There's a lot of us out there.
Making sense of the news. WMAL, making sense of the markets, because generational wealth doesn't build itself. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
The fact is, Jews can't survive without the help of Christians, not worldwide. It's the truth. I'll state the truth. Now, what Israel proved is, these are warriors, and they will fight for their lives. No more 1930s and 40s. And they will fight to the bitter end. And they will win more than they will lose. But worldwide, Europe, United States, that's the truth. By people like Bill Buckley stood up. That's why people like Pastor John Hagee stands up. And so many others. That's why Zuhdi Jasser, a Muslim, he stands up. Is it too much to ask conservatives and media to stand up? Is it? Let me ask you something. Are you worried about your money? Well, you should be. The national debt is almost $38 trillion now. The federal government adds $1 trillion to the debt every 100 days. The interest on the debt, I looked this up today, is $1.2 trillion. The federal defense budget, all defense and national security, is under $900 million. Interest beats it by $300 billion. It's going to double in the next 10 years and swallow the rest of the budget. So here's the question. Are you protected? What does this mean for you, for your savings, your 401k, your IRA? What does that mean for you? It means you got to do something about it, because if you don't, something will be done to you by the economic system. So this is why I talk about diversification. That's why I want you to call my friends at Monetary Gold. Call them today. They're there right now, 877-NOW-GOLD, 877-NOW-GOLD. They'll design a personal game plan for you to help you move some of those paper assets into something that's real. Gold and silver, precious metals never go to zero. I want to encourage you, try to persuade you. Call Monetary Gold today, 877-NOW-GOLD, 877-NOW-GOLD. Get help protecting yourself and your family before it's too late. That day will come. 877-NOW-GOLD, or go online to marklovesgold.com, marklovesgold.com, or 877-NOW-GOLD. Performance may vary. Always consult your financial.
Yeah, it's up to you guys. I don't care.
An investment decision.
She sees what goes on in here.
The Gatestone Institute is a fantastic institute on international policy. I've come to know these people. They really are great. They have an author there, Khalid Abu Tomeh.
What happened to Patrick Rowe? Is he giving up yet, or is he going to continue?
And he tends to report from Judean Samaria and Gaza, and other parts of the world as well. He's written widely, a journalist and a scholar. And he wrote a piece today. Qatar must apologize for supporting Islamist terrorist groups. Something we've been talking about here. I've been saying they owe us an apology for 9/11. They owe the Israelis an apology for October 7th. If anyone needs to apologize, he says, it is Qatar, which has long been financing, hosting, and advocating for Hamas and other Islamist terror groups such as the Islamic State, ISIS, and Al-Qaeda. Qatar, in fact, needs to apologize not only to Israel, but to several Arab countries affected by the Gulf state support for Islamist terror groups. Doug Lamborn in 2015 pointed out, Qatar is now known as the world's safe haven for terrorist groups and militia leaders. Evidence suggests Qatar has directly armed or financed multiple Islamist groups in the region, undermining U.S. objectives in pivotal countries such as Libya, Egypt, Syria, by pushing those places toward violent extremism. Qatar is not and never was an impartial mediator in the Hamas-Israel war. A longtime sponsor of the Muslim Brotherhood and other Islamic terrorist groups, Qatar's main goal is to ensure that Hamas, possibly under a different guise, continues to play a key role in the Palestinian arena. People who contend that Qatar might change thanks to the potential incentives of the Abraham Accords appear afflicted with the same illusions as those who fantasize that the Palestinian Authority will reform. And sadly, the self-interested statements from French President Emmanuel Macron, UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer, Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney, and Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, these are all leftists, by the way, have encouraged the terrorists and their sponsors to have renewed hope that they finally might be able to get rid of Israel after all. In its perennial role as both the arsonist and the firefighter, as with the Taliban in Afghanistan, there's every reason to assume, unless someone emphatically stops them, that Qatar will set about surreptitiously creating a Hamas the sequel the minute the weather improves. Prime Minister Netanyahu has reportedly apologized. He didn't. He said he regrets his Qatari counterparts. If anyone needs to apologize, it's Qatar, which has been financing and hosting and advocating for Hamas and these other Islamic groups for decades. This is a point I made and I posted about earlier today. And when are they going to apologize to the 9/11 families? When are they going to apologize to the October 7th families? When are they going to apologize to our troops, many of whom died and many of whom were horrifically injured in Afghanistan when they backed the Taliban? I'll be right back.
But I don't want to get a flu shot.
You don't want to get the flu again. It's just a teensy little poke. Hi guys, I know you don't like needles, so I brought Fuzzy.
What is that?
It's a device that uses vibration and ice to help take the sting out of shots. See, hun, that wasn't so bad.
Wait, you did it already?
Yep, Fuzzy helps. And Kinney is the only pharmacy that has him.
I'm going to tell everyone I know.
Great. They can schedule online at kinney.drugs.com.
Most people would rather assemble a 300-piece cabinet than search for insurance. That's why the Zebra searches for you, comparing over 100 insurance companies.
I'm thinking.
Savings no one else can. Compare today at thezebra.com.
Run a restaurant and you learn pretty quick. The sound of a crisp fry starts way before the first bite. As delivery and to-go keeps business booming, McCain SureCrisp fries keep orders crispy.
Hey, delivery.
After the trip, the crispiness comes through. McCain SureCrisp fries. Go the distance. See how far our fries can take your business at surecrisp.com/delivery.
Saks Off 5th is your secret to fashion's most wanted deals at up to 70% off. On the hunt for designer steals that'll turn heads and leave a trail of envy? Uncover Gucci, Valentino, Versace, Studio, and more. with new arrivals dropping weekly at prices too good to stay confidential. Luxe layers, statement boots, and tailored
I'm
essentials
thinking.
from Saks Fifth will put your wardrobe.
No,
in the most
news
wonderful.
is on. It's
Head to
commercial.
SaksFifth.com
I'm not running a
or
panel
Saks
right now
Fifth
unless you're
near you
somebody
for a
important.
style lineup you won't want to miss.
Otto, you're not important enough for me to fucking stop what I'm doing and let you up here. Sorry.
Making sense of the news.
I'm out of water. I gotta go get more to drink.
News now.
WMAL News at 7. I'm Heather Curtis. A terrifying ordeal is over for two kids who were able to escape from a Stafford County hotel where they say they were brought by a stranger who kidnapped them. An off-duty cop called deputies Wednesday morning after being flagged down by two kids who said they just run from a kidnapper who was holding them at the Quality Inn on Green Spring Drive. The cop confirmed one of the kids had been reported missing. The Stafford County Sheriff's Department says 54-year-old Tyrone McDaniel of Woodbridge abducted the children in Baltimore City and brought them to the hotel. A search of the room turned up drugs and items related to prostitution. McDaniel was arrested on charges including abduction and human trafficking. He's being held without bond. An appeals court denies an emergency request from the Fairfax County School Board asking it to reverse a district court's decision to dismiss its lawsuit against the Department of Education. The department's withholding federal funding, saying the school district's policy allowing trans students to use facilities of their choice violates Title IX. The school system says the policy is in line with state and federal law. It's an anxiety-provoking time for federal employees waiting to see if they'll survive the latest round of mass firings. President Trump said he would meet today with OMB Director Russ Vought to talk about which agencies and employees can be cut. The president tells One America News jobs and other things could be on the chopping block thanks to Democrats.
We could cut projects that they wanted, favorite projects, and they'd be permanently cut.
Rob Shriver says his group, Democracy Forward, and federal employee unions are suing, arguing when it comes to mass firings.
That's not the kind of activity that agencies are allowed to engage in under the law.
When there's a shutdown. The Democrat candidate for Attorney General in Virginia is reacting to a report of a previous reckless driving conviction.
Former state delegate Jay Jones was clocked by state police driving 116 miles per hour on Virginia Interstate 64 in Kent County back in 2022. In a statement, Jones says he's regretful for the mistake and fulfilled his responsibility, including a $1,500 fine. Jones is currently locked in a tight race against Virginia Attorney General Jason Miyares, who says the new information raises serious, troubling questions about Jay Jones' judgment. Barbara Britt, WMAL and WMAL.com.
A new poll came out today on the Virginia governor's race between Democrat Abigail Spanberger and Republican Winsome Earl Sears. Matt Taglia with Emerson College Polling, which conducted the poll along with The Hill, tells WMAL.
We found that Spanberger has a 10-point lead over Earl Sears. Our number here is 52% to 42%. Only 5% are undecided right now.
The poll's margin of error is plus or minus 3.6 percentage points. An immigration judge rejects Kilmar Abrego Garcia's request to reopen his deportation case.
He has 30 days to appeal, but pending that, a final order of removal for Kilmar Abrego Garcia stands, with an immigration judge rejecting a motion from his attorneys to reopen his 2019 asylum case. The motion was filed in August due to fears that Abrego Garcia was at risk of imminent removal to Uganda, suing the federal government over his detention. There's a court hearing in that case scheduled next Monday. Chris Foster, Fox News.
See what we got here.
Up next, traffic and weather on News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Most people would rather remove a nest of irate hornets than search for auto and home insurance. That's why the Zebra searches for you, comparing over 100 insurance companies to find savings no one else can. Compare today at thezebra.com. I think I'll wait inside.
Are your patients asking you questions, perhaps about managing their treatment, or maybe about making a change? Now is the time to talk to your patients. Now is the time to talk about Dovato. Dovato, a combination of dolutegravir and lamivudine, is a treatment option with 2 medicines in 1 pill. Visit DovatoHCP.com to learn more today and to access full prescribing information, including boxed warning. This ad is for U.S. healthcare professionals and brought to you by Vive Healthcare.
You bring the vision, Twilio brings the platform. Real-time messaging, AI-driven insights, personalized customer journeys, it's all here, ready for you to build with. Twilio's customer engagement platform is flexible, open, and designed for builders who want to create unforgettable customer experiences that drive impact. No silos, no compromises, just the freedom to build your way. Twilio, the ultimate builder's toolbox. Learn more at twilio.com.
Traffic and weather on News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Here's Dr. Gavin Montgomery in the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
This WMAL traffic update begins in the district with reports of a shooting investigation in Southeast DC. K Street between South Capitol and 1st Street, reporting a shooting in the 2800 block of K Street in Southeast. Camp Springs reporting construction's got the left lane closed on Branch Avenue northbound Route 5 between Alth Road and Beach Road. You'll find that construction between Alth and Beach Road in Prince George's County. I'm Dr. Gavin Montgomery, now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Storm Watch 7 forecast.
For the remainder of today, for your Friday and the upcoming weekend, all looking dry. Our next weather maker not going to be moving in until very late Tuesday night. Some scattered showers on Wednesday. So enjoy the evening. You're partly cloudy, 57 to 61 degrees. We'll have high temperatures Friday into the lower and mid 70s with partly sunny skies. And then mostly sunny skies for the upcoming weekend, around 80 degrees. I'm 7 News Chief Meteorologist Veronica Johnson in the First Alert Weather Center.
Right now, 67 degrees in Washington. I'm Heather Curtis on WMAL.
Now broadcasting from the underground command post, deep in the bowels of a hidden bunker, somewhere under the brick and steel of a nondescript building, we've once again made contact with our leader, Mark Levin.
Hello, America. Mark Levin here. Our number, 877-381-3811, 877-381-3811. Mr. Producer, do me a favor. Would you check and see if they've released the name of the murderer in Britain and Manchester that drove his vehicle into the synagogue and then stabbed two people to death and wounded, some cases critically, 4 others? So Yom Kippur is the holiest of days in Judaism. It's the Day of Atonement. Catholics have a Day of Atonement once a week, other faiths and so forth. This is the big atonement and holiday in Judaism. It follows on the heels of Rosh Hashanah. There's a reason for that. The new year is launched, and then you want to start off in the best foot you can. You reveal yourself to God, even though God already knows. And you explain to God how you're going to correct things, how you're going to make things right, how you're going to go forward in a very moral and biblical way. It's a very, very important holiday in Judaism. And so this synagogue, this Orthodox synagogue in suburban Manchester, England, was attacked in the morning while parishioners were there praying and sitting ducks. Now, the killer was killed by the police. By the time I came on this program, I didn't hear the name of the killer. Mr. Producer is now trying to see if he can find it. Yeah. That's the name. Jihad al-Shami, a British citizen of Syrian descent, according to Grok. If so, that's why they withheld the name as long as they did. I'm not surprised if that's the case in the least. And this is out of control. You keep reading about Jewish people walking down the street and being beaten to a pulp, sucker punched, gang attacked, all throughout Europe. You hear imams in our own country. You hear elected Muslim leaders in Dearbornistan and other places preaching hate. It's just incredible what's going on. And so these 2 people were killed. This guy, this prime minister, Keir Starmer, is a quisling. He's pathetic. He's sickening. Sickening.
Murder in Manchester, England.
You know, ladies and gentlemen, I wasn't going to do this. I want to get into a few other things, but I'm going to do it, Mr. Producer. That's cut 21 when I call for it, please. I want you to listen to this man who's speaking to you. It's only about 2.5 minutes long of what we are facing in this country, what they are facing in Europe, that this is part of a grand strategy by a so-called Muslim thinker. He's a radical jihadist who has enormous influence, and he's actually considered the number one religious influence in Qatar, Mr. Producer, in Qatar, our new protectorate. We've now committed, at least during this presidency, committed to go to war on behalf of Qatar if Qatar is militarily threatened. That's an arrangement with Qatar that we don't have with Israel, we don't have with Taiwan, we don't have with any other country. It's almost like Article 5 in NATO. Now, this is an executive order that will not last beyond this particular administration and can be challenged on the ground that it is an executive order. But that said, that's pretty stunning. Since Qatar hasn't had to swear off terrorism, it hasn't had to swear off spending multiple billions in our country to destroy our universities and colleges and turn our own people against us, to back radical Islamist groups in our country, and to apologize for 9/11 and October 7th. It hasn't had to do any of that stuff in exchange. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't want my kids, my grandkids, being sent to Qatar to lose their lives in defense of Qatar. I mean, we don't send troops to Israel.
Hey,
we don't
Rocky.
send troops to Taiwan and so forth and so on. Why the hell would we do it with Qatar?
Here's the biggest
Well,
news of
sad.
the night. Murder in
I
England.
want you to listen to this. It's only 2 minutes of your life or so. Cut 21, go.
The man who redefined Islamic thinking for the modern Muslim Brotherhood is Yusuf al-Qaradawi. Unlike Qutb, Qaradawi believed Islam would conquer Europe, not through the sword, but through dawah and population. To support this vision, he founded Fiqh al-Aqaliyat, a doctrine that allows Muslim minorities to adapt to Western societies while upholding their faith.
By the way, this is also my book on power. But the way this guy describes it is fantastic. Go ahead.
On matters of modesty, food, courts, and elections. The goal of integration into Western society is not to advance the country in which they live, but to seize positions of power, to spread Islam globally. Qaradawi's doctrine is essentially the way Qatar can influence the West, which is why it has adopted him and promoted him to be the most influential Muslim religious entity. Qaradawi publicly supported Hamas and suicide bombings. He called their perpetrators martyrs and praised their actions. As a Western, you should know that any Muslim backing Palestine is backing Hamas, the Muslim Brotherhood's armed wing. Palestine died with Arafat in 2004. Since then, it's been a Muslim cause, not a nationalist one, which makes Palestine a real threat far beyond Israel's borders. That's why Jordan banned the Brotherhood after October 7th, and Egypt built huge fences around Gaza. They know who they're dealing with. Meanwhile, in New York, there's a mayoral candidate who operates on Qaradawi's method of full integration, even with values contrary to Islam, but for the sake of Islam. It doesn't matter if he is a Shiite, an agnostic like Cenk, or an atheist like Hassan Piker. Qatari money speaks to everyone.
Cenk Uygur.
Qaradawi's jihad thrives best among progressives.
The Young Turks.
Who serve as its final line of defense and help sustain Qatar's influence in the West.
Here, Qaradawi tells an audience in Ohio about the group's goals to conquer the world, including the United States.
Qaradawi is my direct teacher. At the time, I established the Arab Muslim Association in the whole of America. And alhamdulillah, it grew with time. So we started to have conferences. And alhamdulillah, attracted all the Arab, organized by the Muslim Student Organization.
Mm-hmm. So the Qatar is the point of the spear. And now we've committed through an executive order to go to war to defend them. They don't have to give up the leadership of Hamas. They don't have to give up funding of terrorism, ISIS. Al Qaeda, the Taliban. They don't have to give up pouring billions into our colleges and universities and into Hamas and other terrorist front groups in this country. No. And they don't even have to apologize to us for 9/11. No. This is a serious problem as far as I'm concerned. It's cut and dry. It's a red line. That's my view. And when we come back, we'll get into some of this stuff on this phony government shutdown. We'll be right back.
Mark Levin.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
Keeping your pet healthy can feel like a lot sometimes, but PetSmart makes it super simple. They've got food tailored to your pet's needs, supplements so you can stay ahead of any issues, and even prescriptions that show up right at your door. And here's the hack. Set it all up on auto ship. It just arrives when you need it. Plus, you save 35% on your first PetSmart auto ship order and 5% on the ones after that. You can stay on top of your pet's healthy routines without stressing. Order what they need and set up auto ship at PetSmart.com.
But I don't want to get a flu shot.
You don't want to get the flu again. It's just a teensy little poke. Hi guys, I know you don't like needles, so I brought Fuzzy.
What is that?
It's a device that uses vibration and ice to help take the sting out of shots. See, hun, that wasn't so bad.
Wait, you did it already?
Yep, Fuzzy helps. And Kinney is the only pharmacy that has him.
I'm going to tell everyone I know.
Great. They can schedule online at KinneyDrugs.com.
Did you know adults 60 plus lose more than $60 billion each year to financial exploitation? Greenlight's new Family Shield plan empowers you to monitor your accounts for suspicious activity, protect yourself with up to $1 million in identity theft coverage, and reassure loved ones that you're safe with location sharing and place alerts. Get peace of mind today at greenlight.com/protect. That's greenlight.com/protect.
Business owners, are your work vans older than your fax machine? Do they squeak, rattle, and smell like regret? Then it's time to upgrade to a real workhorse at Bob Johnson Ford of Pulaski. We've got the biggest selection of transit vans this side of sanity, and right now get $3,500 off. Just head to 84 Caprera Drive or gallop over to BobJohnsonFord.com. That's Bob Johnson Ford of Pulaski, where your next van doesn't smell like drywall dust and broken dreams. See dealer for details.
Everything from clothing to household items are getting more expensive each day. American Giant is about keeping things simple and close to home. They aren't affected by tariffs because their products never leave the U.S. Support American-made, tariff-free clothing with American Giant. Get 20% off your first order when you use promo code STAPLE20 at American-Giant.com. That's 20% off when you use code STAPLE20 at American-Giant.com.
Did you know using your browser in incognito mode doesn't actually protect your privacy? Take back your privacy with IPVanish VPN. Just one tap and all your data, passwords, communications, browsing history, and more will be instantly protected. IPVanish makes you virtually invisible online. Use IPVanish on all your devices, anytime you go online at home, and especially on public Wi-Fi. Get IPVanish now for 70% off a yearly plan with this exclusive offer at ipvanish.com/audio.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/Mike.
Cleo, I removed your post after I put the wrench. That way people like Patrick Rowe can't see your address. So I removed your comment on that. But I put a wrench on it. Yeah, I got my little space heater right there. Won't be long. I'll be turning that fucker on because it's gonna chill down. It was down to 36 last night. It was cool this morning. You're welcome.
By bottom of the hour, Jack Citarelli, the Republican candidate for governor of New Jersey, is scheduled to be with us. He has a real shot at this if the folks in New Jersey turn out and vote. Turn out and vote on what's called an off-year election in most of the rest of the country. Very, very important, you know. It'd be important. He came so close last time. It just took a few more votes, but enough people didn't show up. You got to show up if you want to win. I mean, voting is just easy, basic stuff. Cost of everything is still out of control. Mostly your debt, the interest on credit cards. You probably have more than one credit card. I used to be in this position. I hated going to the mailbox. I still do, really, opening up the bills. But that credit card bill is the one that really is upsetting. Keeps you up at night, doesn't it? And that debt is piling up. And let me tell you something. You're not alone. You're not alone. Now, you might have considered reaching out to my friends at American Financing, but hesitated because you don't want to give up your low mortgage rate, right? Well, there is some good news. Now, this is very good news. So here we go. They've created the Smart Equity Loan.
Nice.
Brand new program. It's a solution for you designed to help you take control of your finances without touching your current mortgage if you want to leave your mortgage alone. Unlike a HELOC, which can have varied interest rates, the Smart Equity Loan that they've created offers a fixed rate. That means one predictable monthly payment. Now, this loan, here's what's important about it. It allows you to leverage the equity in your home to pay off high-interest debt, free up your cash flow, and keep your existing low interest rate intact. I mean, this is brilliant.
I've seen snow on the 1st of October.
With no upfront or hidden fees.
About 3-4 years ago, we had snow on the 1st of October.
I think it should be. This is a lifeline. This really is.
It was a long winter. It got cold quick. Last winter, you know, it was sometime in October. Yeah, usually October rolls around. Before Halloween, it can get pretty cold.
1828 or visit AmericanFinancing.net.
It's probably why my cheeks are the way they are. I'm an outdoors person.
Democrat Party lies.
So we haven't really had our first freeze yet.
It lies about Hunter Biden's laptop, lies about the border being secure when it wasn't. It just lies. And that's because the substance of its policies are so repulsive to most people, certainly majority, that they don't want to really shoot straight. That's why. And so they lie. And they're lying now. Yes, the reason they, quote unquote, won't vote for a continuing resolution and to keep that part of the government open is because they want to make sure that they pad the federal budget with your tax dollars to subsidize free, top quality health care for illegal aliens. They say that's not what we're doing, and they'll give you twisted logic as to why they're not. It is exactly what they're doing. They voted against that big bill, the big Trump bill, the beautiful big bill. Among the reasons they gave is, well, they don't want illegal aliens taking off Medicaid rolls. They also don't want able-bodied, able-minded Americans, young men and women. They don't want them to have to work 20 hours a week, even volunteer 20 hours a week in exchange for getting free medical care. No, only you have to work, you see? Only you have to get up in the morning and come back late at night, or get up early at night and come back early in the morning, depending on your shift. You pay for yours, or you work for an employer who helps contribute to your health care, which means you get less salary because it goes to health care. These people want free illegal aliens coming from somewhere else, including those who want to overturn our country and destroy it, who are marching in the streets, who are committing offenses. That's the new Democrat Party focused constituency. They figure the Supreme Court will not overturn this nonsense about birthright citizenship. They may well be right. And so they'll have millions of illegal aliens brought in here purposely with open door, open border policies under the Democrat administration of Biden and the Congress. They don't want them deported, which is why they attack ICE and the Border Patrol. They don't want them deported. They want to give them effectively backdoor amnesty. They want their children to be American citizens and the birthright citizen. Then they want chain migration so they can bring in 20 of their relatives. The Democrat Party doesn't care about the country. It cares about its own power. They put the party before the country, just like in communist regimes. It's the Communist Party that you have allegiance to. They want you to have allegiance to the Democrat Party. So they've spent a few years, and now it'll be a decade or two, changing the demographics of the country, changing the population, changing the citizenship of the country, so they can have more congressional districts, eventually have more votes, eventually have one-party rule like they do in states like California and Illinois and so forth and so on. That's the plan. And so they want to give illegal aliens who they brought here and they're trying to protect from our laws healthcare. And so that's why they're doing what they've done. Now, it wasn't always this way. 20 years ago, Chuck Schumer denounced it. 30 years ago, Hillary Clinton denounced it. Cesar Chavez, the late founder of the United Farm Workers Union, really focused on American Mexicans who were working in the fields, trying to unionize them. He opposed illegal immigration. In fact, he called them wetbacks. In fact, he organized American citizens of Mexican ancestry to help watch the border. And when they could catch illegal aliens, they would. And when they could make reports about what was happening on parts of the border, they would report it to the old Immigration and Naturalization Service. The Democrat Party was against illegal immigration, but it decided it can't build a big enough coalition without it. It can't win future elections without it. So it flipped, as did their unions. Their unions used to oppose illegal immigration. Not anymore. They see future members. They don't care about their current members. They see future members. So here's Chuck Schumer. Here he was in the past opposing illegal immigration in a very articulate way. And Hillary Clinton opposing illegal immigration also in a very articulate way. And now they support it. All of it. I want you to think about that. What changed? Did you change? No.
Something happened. Something happened. Fuckers.
Chris Plant here, excited to tell you that we
They interrupted it, or there's a glitch or a gremlin or something.
Mediterranean Sea Cruise. If you haven't booked yet, what are you waiting for? Join in on the fun. Visit ChrisPlantCruise.com.
There you go. Wants to stop illegal immigration? Certainly.
He was playing Chuck Schumer too.
Benefits, but look at him today.
He was playing Chucker Schumer.
Test coward. Self-serving hack $2 politician. We'll be right back.
Attention all seniors. If you're between the ages of 55 and 75, you could get up to $50,000 in final expense insurance with no medical exam required through Life Insurance Savings Group. With the increasing costs of funerals plus any outstanding debts, your family could be stuck with a huge bill when you pass away. Don't let that happen. As a qualifying customer, you're guaranteed acceptance regardless of your health, even if you have diabetes, high blood pressure, or are overweight. Call 1-800-289-3434 for your free quote today. To repeat, if you're between 55 and 75, you could get up to $50,000 in coverage with no medical exam required. Your rates will never go up, and your benefits will never go down. Plus, some policies cost as little as $30 per month. Call 1-800-289-3434 for your free quote. 1-800-289-3434 or go to lifeinsurancesavings.com today. That's 1-800-289-3434. Details on
I'm craving something.
Paid for by Select Quote.
On 95 in Prince George's County.
And I just ate a
Southbound
fucking
slow from
thing of
212
popcorn.
to the Beltway. Now on the Beltway, inner loop in Montgomery County, stop and go between Rockville Pike and University Boulevard. In Prince George's County, the inner loop is slow from Medical Center Drive to Ritchie Marlboro Road. The outer loop of the Beltway in Greenbelt is stop and go from Kenilworth Avenue to the Greenbelt Mark Metro Station exit. In northbound 270 at Clarksburg, that's stop and go from 121 to Maryland 80. And now from Garage Door Repair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
Tonight, partly cloudy with lows in the 50s. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with highs in the lower 70s.
But I don't want to get a flu shot.
You don't want to get the flu again. It's just a teensy little poke. Hi guys, I know you don't like needles, so I brought Fuzzy.
What is that?
It's a device that uses vibration and ice to help take the sting out of shots. See, hun, that wasn't so bad.
Wait, you did it already?
Yep, Fuzzy helps. And Kenny is the only...
Must be when they go to play that, it goes off on their end. I don't know what the fuck.
Hey guys, have you heard of Gold Belly?
Chuck Schumer's always good for a laugh.
The most iconic, famous foods from restaurants across the country, anywhere, nationwide.
You know, California has their fucking people, but Chuck Schumer is the worst of them. He really is.
New York bagels, Maine lobster rolls, and even Ina Garden's.
Why that guy isn't in fucking jail, been expelled out of fucking Congress is beyond me.
And get 20% off your first order with promo code GIFT. That's goldbelly.com. Promo code
One of the
GIFT.
most crooked lawyers to ever live in the United States.
Most wanted deals at up to 70% off. On the hunt for designer steals
Yeah.
that'll turn heads and leave a trail of envy. Uncover Gucci.
Charles M.
Versace,
Schumer.
Stuart
What a
Weitzman, and
joke.
more. With new arrivals dropping weekly at prices too good
The
to
motherfucker's never worked in the
Luxury
private
or
sector.
statement boots and
Ever.
forward essentials from Saks Off Fifth will put your wardrobe on the most wanted list. Head to SaksOffFifth.com or a Saks Off Fifth store near you for a style lineup you won't want to miss.
I mean, when he was in college, what did he do for work?
With personalized attention,
He fucking ran for office.
National University, supporting all your ends. Learn more at nu.edu.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Business owners, are your work vans older than your fax machine? Do they squeak, rattle, and smell like regret? Then it's time to upgrade to a real workhorse at Bob Johnson Ford of Alaska. We've got the biggest selection of transit vans this side of Saturday, and right now get $3,500 off. Just head to 84 Caprera Drive or gallop over to BobJohnsonFord.com. That's Bob Johnson Ford of Alaska, where your next van doesn't smell like drywall dust and broken dreams. See dealer for details.
This episode is presented by Avalara. That's the sound of not worrying about sales tax compliance. Because when you automate it with Avalara, there's no worrying about collecting the right amount of sales tax or tracking who and what is tax exempt. And when it comes time to file tax returns, Avalara automatically takes care of that too. Take the worry out of tax compliance with Avalara. Learn more at Avalara.com.
Making sense of your world.
I can't believe this.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
And I am so with you.
Making sense of the news. WMAL. Making sense of the headlines. Because common sense isn't so common. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
Jack Citarelli is the Republican nominee for governor of New Jersey. It's a very close race. He almost won it last time. He has a really good shot at it this time. How are you, sir?
Very well, Mark. Great to be back.
It's great to have you. Well, since you were gone, we've learned a lot about your opponent in terms of her failure to be allowed to graduate with the other members of her class, with the incredible amount of money she earned as a congresswoman, among other things. The more we learn about her, the more troubling, no?
Very much so. This is someone who's built their entire political brand around their time at the Naval Academy and in the military. We certainly salute the military service, as we do for my Army captain's son. But while she was at the Naval Academy, she was punished. We know there was a cheating scandal in 1994. We know that she was involved. We know that she was punished by not being allowed to walk at the graduation ceremony, not having her name listed in the commencement exercise program. She says it's because she didn't turn in fellow classmates. 2 weeks later, she turned around and says because she knew there was a test that was circulating prior to the actual test being taken. All we're asking, Mark, is for her to approve the release of her disciplinary records so we can see exactly why it is that she was punished. I think the people of New Jersey deserve to know that.
And she won't release them, will she?
She won't release them. And what we're seeing, Mark, is a pattern. We now know that she was punished at the Naval Academy. We now know that when she was a congresswoman, she broke federal law on stock trades and stock reporting. The New York Times reports that she has been trading defense stocks while sitting on the House Armed Services Committee. And the entire campaign for governor has been based on a stack of lies on the campaign trail. So it starts to call into question, I think, her character.
Now, one of the things we discussed last time are these enormous monthly electricity bills that come into New Jersey, thanks really to the Democrats and Murphy and the way they've mishandled energy. They bought into this radical left agenda with windmills and all the rest of it that seems to kill an awful lot of wells off the Jersey shore there. She can't really be expected to fix that, can she?
Well, she's pushed forth an illegitimate plan that's not feasible. In fact, 77 incumbent Democratic legislators, not one of them has endorsed her plan, and the governor of her own party here in New Jersey slapped it down on TV saying, I don't think that's doable. It's not legal. It's not. She's proposing to declare a state of emergency on day one and freeze energy prices at their current rates. Why would we freeze your electric bill at an all-time high? I want to lower it, and we do that by pulling out a RGGI on day one. The Regional Greenhouse Gas Initiative is a carbon tax policy that costs New Jerseyans over $500 million a year. I pull out a RGGI, we save $500 million for homeowners, tenants, and businesses starting on day one.
So you want to cut electricity costs. You have a way of attacking that. And then people complain about the massive taxes in New Jersey. I mean, it's usually California, New York, and New Jersey when people talk about taxes. You have a plan for that too? Do we not have him, Mr. Producer? Let's see if we can get him back. All right, he's calling back. Yep. We'll let you know when we have him. You know, the Russians don't like my show. Did you know that, Mr. Producer? All right, Jack, I'm sorry we lost you. So do you have a plan with these massive taxes in New Jersey to confront that too?
I appreciate you bringing that up, Mark. New Jersey pays the highest overall tax in the country. We pay the highest property taxes, the highest business tax, the third highest income tax, and one of the highest sales taxes. We're not raising taxes under Governor Citarelli. We're going to lower the income tax and lower the business tax by reducing the size and cost of a bloated state government. It took us 238 years to get to a $36 billion state budget. In 8 years' time, the Democrats have raised the budget from $36 billion to $59 billion, a 70% increase in only 8 years. We're bloated. We're inefficient. It's wasteful. There's corruption. It all ends on day one in my administration.
Now, you actually have some bipartisan support, right? Some of the Democrat mayors have endorsed you, and no Republican mayor has endorsed her. Do I have that right?
You're exactly right. And when Democratic mayors are endorsing the Republican nominee, it says that people across the state have had it with all the failed policies of the past 8 years. But I'm honored to have those endorsements. We got one out of the home county for my opponent, right in the heart of her legislative district. Another one in Bergen County, our most populated county. And then last week it was up in Branchville. So I'm honored to have those endorsements.
Well, my mother-in-law lives in Bergen County. My wife grew up in Bergen County. I'm glad to hear that. Let me ask you this. As a legislator, what the hell does she do?
Well, she hasn't for New Jersey, that's for sure. In fact, now she doesn't want to be part of the bipartisan group that's trying to get the government back open. And listen, New Jersey's a donor state. It has sent way more on an annual basis to Washington, D.C. than it gets back. And she's done nothing to correct that. But that goes along with, that's the case for the entire congressional delegation, which is dominated by 11 Democrats.
What do you have, 11-1 or something like that?
It's 11-3. Both U.S. senators are Democrats, and then of the 12 House seats, we've got only 3 of the 12 House seats are Republican. But we can change that next year when I win the governorship. I really do believe we can beat my opponent in her congressional race next year. And there's 1 or 2 other seats that'll be up for grabs, too.
Now, she reportedly made, by her own hand, she says, around $7 million, she and her husband, in a relatively short period of time. Explain to America what happened there. What do we know?
Well, we don't know what happened. There's a very famous interview that's now gone viral where she's asked, okay, you tripled your net worth since you got to Congress. How'd you do that? And her answer, after stumbling for a few seconds, was, I think we made money. Here's what we do know. She violated federal law. She had to pay fines for not reporting stock trades and stock transactions. And then, as we know, as the New York Times reports, was trading defense stocks while sitting on the House Armed Services Committee. Mark, even if that's not illegal, it doesn't pass the sniff test. People do not like it when public servants use their job to enrich themselves.
Now, the key to a race like this is getting out the vote. Do you have a good get out the vote plan in place?
You bet we do. But I will tell you that compared to 21, there's a whole lot less indifference. Because of the closeness of my race in 21, one of the closest in history, didn't concede for 11 days because we were counting the votes. People now know that we can win, and people are highly motivated because of the closeness of that race, but also because the current governor's policies have failed us. His tax and spend policies have failed us. Housing, we're overdeveloping our suburbs, handcuffing our police. There's a significant rise in nonviolent crime. And of course, we failed in public education as well, with New Jersey slipping from 2 to 12 on a national report card. I'll get us back to basics and teaching critical life skills. But all these failures across the board, and everyone knowing that my opponent is Murphy 2.0, just a continuation of those failed policies, has people highly motivated. And again, evidence of that are the Democratic mayors that have endorsed me.
Now, let me ask you this. It's a wonderful state. You know, it's the most dense state in the country, but you've got a real diversity of geography there. I mean, you've got a wonderful coastline. You got South Jersey, which is many parts agricultural. And then you have a number of cities in the state. And you're going to do everything you can, I suppose, to bring all these disparate parts together. It's not that easy.
Listen, I always say that we should celebrate and embrace New Jersey's diversity. Not just the fact that we are, in fact, by ethnicity, race, and color, the most diverse state in the country, but its 4 regions are very different: North, Central, South, and Jersey Shore, 21 counties, 564 towns. But, you know, we get up and down the state and just talk about how it is that we're going to fix everyday problems.
I'm thinking about cooking that rest of it. I got 2 pounds of hamburger, and I'm going to put it in some spaghetti sauce.
The electricity bills. These are all the things that people are furious about. It's why an overwhelming number of New Jerseyans feel the state's heading in the wrong direction. 2 out of 3 are looking to leave as soon as they can. I've got to.
I don't eat pasta, but I like garlic bread.
And when something I love is broken, I want to fix it. I believe my leadership could fix New Jersey.
Now, tell people who may not be familiar a little bit about your background.
Well, the Cettarellis have been in New Jersey for 100 years. My grandparents came here from Volentano, Italy, in the Lazio region, because someone had preceded them to Raritan Borough in Somerset County, New Jersey, for reasons I don't know, but I'm glad my grandparents followed right behind. 3 generations of New Jerseyans have all achieved our American dream here. My grandfather worked his way up out of the ditch and was a successful independent contractor. My parents held 2 jobs, but were also very successful restaurant bar owners. I followed in their footsteps as an MBA CPA and 2-time successful business owner. But I've also had the privilege of serving at every level of government, municipal, county, and legislative level, terming myself each time and never even taking the salary or the benefits. at most of the jobs. If anything, they cost me money because it took time away from my business, but it was, and I wanted to do in terms of giving back. But no candidate, Mark's ever come before the people of New Jersey who has a long family history here, MBA, CPA, 2-time successful business owner who created jobs and has served at every level of government. I know what's going on. I know exactly what we need to fix it. And if her debate performance of 2 weeks ago proved anything, she doesn't have a damn clue on how to fix New Jersey.
Mm-hmm. I also notice, and I'm sure the Democrat Party, New Jersey, and others are digging as hard as they can. You don't have any scandals following you around. You're not Linus with all the dirt following you around, are you?
Mark, I've led a pretty boring life, pretty typical for a CPA. But listen, again, it's one of the things that differentiates me from my opponent. We've been here for 100 years. She hasn't been here all that long and has spent more than half her time in Congress. And she did something else that I really detest. She ran for Congress in a district in which she did not live. And I know that's legal these days, but it still bothers me greatly. But another great difference between the two of us, I was allowed to walk at my college graduation. She wasn't. I've never broken the law. She has.
Mm-hmm. All right, my friend. So if people want to help you, if they want to donate to you, they want to get involved in the campaign, particularly New Jersey, where do they go? What do they look at?
Appreciate that, Mark. It's jack4nj.com. Jack the number 4. Jack4nj.com. That's also the handle on our social media. You can follow our travels, get involved in any which way you want, and we certainly welcome more participation from more voters.
That's Jack Cettarelli. I think he's going to be the next governor in New Jersey. I hope so. We spent a lot of time, my family and I, in New Jersey. We wish you all the best, my friend. God bless you.
Thank you, Mark. Looking forward to next time.
All right, you take care. That's good. He's articulate. He knows what he wants to do. He's a successful businessman. He was successful in these other positions he held. Guy doesn't have a trace of scandal. He said what he wants to do. He wants to bring down those electricity prices by reversing what's taking place. He wants to bring down the tax levels. He wants to do those things that matter in everyday lives. So he'd be a great governor in New Jersey. I think he'd be a great governor anywhere. We'll be right back.
Mark Levin.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
New deals just dropped at Family Dollar. Get $4 off Gain Laundry Detergent. Buy 2, get 1 free Glade storage bags. $5 Kraft and Velveeta 4-packs and more this week. Plus, you won't want to miss scary good deals on Halloween candy. See more in our new ad and shop in stores this week.
Hey guys, finding the perfect gift for the food lover in your life is easy, thanks to Goldbelly. Goldbelly ships America's most iconic foods straight from world-famous restaurants right to your door. So if you want to treat someone to Joe's Stone Crab from Miami, Franklin Barbecue from Texas, or desserts from famous foodies like Ina Garten or Martha Stewart, Goldbelly has you covered. Just go to goldbelly.com and for a limited time, get 20% off your first order with promo code GIFT. That's promo code GIFT.
Yeah, maybe that's what I need, some Chinese food.
But PetSmart makes it super simple. They've got food tailored to your pet's needs.
I don't eat a lot of rice.
Any issues,
But once in a while, I like to have some rice.
And here's the hack. Set it all
I don't eat it all the time.
It just arrives when you need it. Plus, you save
Eat too much
35%
rice,
on
it
your
can
first
fucking
PetSmart
bind you up.
order, and 5% on the ones after that. You can stay on top of your pet's healthy routine without stressing. Order what they need and set up auto ship at PetSmart.com.
Rice pudding's the best.
National University supports all her ANs.
It's the only way to eat rice, actually, with raisins and other shit in it.
National University, supporting all your ANs.
It has no flavor whatsoever until you put soy sauce on it.
Saks Off 5th is your secret to fashion's most wanted deals at up to 70% off. On the hunt for designer steals that'll turn heads and leave a trail of envy? Uncover Gucci, Valentino, Versace, Stuart Weitzman, and more. With new arrivals dropping weekly at prices too good to stay confidential. Luxe layers, statement boots, and tailored
There's all kinds of eggs for sale around here.
Head to Saks
Ain't nobody where I live begged Europe for any eggs, Whipperman. Oh, what a dumb fuck. Why did America beg Europe for eggs?
$1 each year to financial exploitation. Greenlight's new Family Shield plan empowers you to monitor your accounts for suspicious activity. Protect yourself with up to $1 million in identity theft coverage, and
I might just make some
loved
toast or
ones that you're
something.
safe with location sharing and place alerts. Get peace of mind today at Greenlight.
Kinda had a big lunch.
Protect. That's greenlight.com/protect.
I run out of hamburger buns, so I cooked the hamburger like a steak. So I ate it like a steak on a plate.
And I am one of them.
There are a million reasons to share love, but you only need one. To learn how you can share love, visit lovesharners.org.
I was on a routine patrol, and the vehicle flipped and landed on top of me, which left me paralyzed from the waist down.
I'm William Shatner. Show them their sacrifice hasn't been in vain. Go to pva.org to learn how you can make a difference.
Are you a parent of a child with disabilities who desperately needs a break? Then you need to know about Jill's House. To find out more, visit our website, jillshouse.org.
Folks, some of America's most cherished values are being challenged. Values like faith, family, and freedom that have guided this nation for generations. That's why I proudly support AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens. AMAC is the conservative alternative, offering not only a strong voice for traditional values, but real benefits and discounts that make a difference in your everyday life. And as a member, you'll receive exclusive discounts and benefits on travel, insurance, prescription services, and so much more, along with helpful tools and resources designed to keep you ahead of the curve. And one of the best parts, you'll get the AMAC magazine packed with insightful content and updates that matter to you. Right now, when you choose a 5-year membership, you'll receive up to 33% off, just over $1 a month. So go to amac.us/Levin, amac.us/Levin. Join right now. Stand with AMAC. Again, that's amac.us/Levin, and help keep America strong.
Making sense of your world. Talk radio is where I get all of my information. News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news. Your next $1,000 could be one text away. It's 5K a day on WMAL.
John Berman is the part of a conga line of low IQ hosts with the Constipated News Network, which is losing audience hand over foot, by the way, as is MSLSD. But yesterday he had Chucky Schmucky Schumer on the program. Listen to this. Cut one, go.
This is the type of thing you've said about shutdowns in the past. Let's listen.
What if I persuaded my caucus to say I'm going to shut the government down? I'm going to not pay our bills unless I get my way. It's a politics of idiocy, of confrontation, of paralysis. Shutting down government over a policy difference is self-defeating. We can never hold American workers hostage again. While the CR bill is very bad, the potential for a shutdown has consequences for America that are much, much worse. Therefore, I will vote to keep the government open and not shut it down.
That was you 3 times in the past. Go ahead. What's different this time?
Yeah, that was in March, John, before they had done these horrible things to health care, before they had introduced these rescissions, which would allow them
Hold
to...
on. Did what horrible things to health care?
And
Let's hold, please. Did what horrible things to health care? What's he talking about? They pushed illegal aliens off Medicaid. That's the horrible thing they did to health care. That's my point. The hill they want to die on is illegal aliens getting health care. Go ahead.
Line is when I was majority leader, we had 13 times to vote on a budget. Do you know why there was no shutdown? We sat and negotiated with the Republicans every time. They got some things, we got some things.
Okay, let's hold again. We're talking here about a continuing resolution, okay? What's a continuing resolution? It's supposed to be a nothing burger. It's supposed to be non-controversial. The battle isn't over the budget. The continuing resolution is what it says. It's to continue current spending levels for current federal programs at the same level, no change for a period of weeks while the appropriation committees finish their work, and then you get the big enchilada at the end of the process, and then you can fight. This is supposed to be just, let's continue funding the government, or at least this little piece of the government, and then we'll duke it out later, but we need to finish our work. So they decided, really exceptional case here, to exploit this. They're the ones who decided to politicize this. This was, again, a ministerial act. That's all it was. Go ahead, please.
Negotiate at all. They refused, despite repeated entreaties by Hakeem and me, to go.
Yeah, but Hakeem and me. Hakeem and me. These guys are saboteurs. You know what this really is, America? It's a fight in the Democrat Party. It's a fight by the Democrats, for the Democrats, with the Democrat. That's what it is. The Republicans are just doing things that you typically do with continuing resolutions. But the Democrats are fighting with each other. And so they decided that this is the best way to unify themselves. They've made a terrible mistake because everybody knows this is a joke. This is pathetic. Make sure you watch Life, Liberty, and Levin Saturday. It's going to be a killer show. I've got Ted Cruz. I've got Newt Gingrich. I've brought in the big guns. And, of course, myself. I'm going to go through this like nobody else can or will in my opening statement, my monologue. That is Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern. You can set your DVR if you think you're going to be watching football or going out to dinner or staring at the ceiling or whatever. So I always encourage people, set your DVR. I hope you're able to watch it live, but it's going to be a really very important show. I'm going to talk to Newt about when he was speaker and the government was shut down twice, one time for 29 days with Clinton. And you'll see how different that was than what's going on right now. We're going to talk with Ted about the constitutional history of this stuff and what's going on in the Senate now. It's going to be, I think, just compelling and intriguing. Let's face it, it's the kind of show you're not going to see anywhere else. Not a conga line of guests, one or two guests, and they're there for a reason, not to fill time. They're asked important questions. And I spent hours preparing my opening statement, what they call a monologue. I like opening statement. Opening statement to the rest of the program. You're going to learn things, and I think you're going to really be compelled by the program. So that's Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Please don't miss it on Fox, Life, Liberty, and Levin. Time is our most precious commodity, time. So many of you, my listeners, have asked for my advice about how you can spend it wisely to improve yourself and people around you. That's why I'm so excited that Hillsdale College is offering more than 40 free online courses, the most important enduring subjects, and you're going to love them. You're going to be entertained. You're going to be informed. You can learn about Western philosophy, the great works of literature, economics, history of the U.S. Constitution, and so much more, all available for free at your pace, at your time, at your place. You can learn about all of it. I personally recommend sign up for Introduction to Aristotle's Ethics, How to Lead a Good Life. I think you're going to love that one. That course in particular is taught by Hillsdale's president, the great Dr. Larry Arnn. He's really a tremendous teacher. And he leads you through the most important lessons of Aristotle's ethics, including his teachings in human nature, the meaning of the good life, and the virtues necessary for happiness. There's really no parallel to Aristotle. The course is self-paced, so you can start whenever you want, wherever you want. Go right now to levinforhillsdale.com to enroll for free. That's Levin for Hillsdale, no cost, easy to get started. I really think you're going to love this. Your kids too, your grandkids too. That's Levin, Levin for Hillsdale.com. Register for free. Levin for Hillsdale.com. The Power Hour is next. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Meet Chris. National University supports all his ands. With flexible online courses, he can be a student and teach his son how to hit a curveball and serve his country. He's an ander. Explore National University's 4 and 8 week courses and associate to doctorate degrees. National University, supporting all your ands. Learn more at nu.edu.
You need parts? O'Reilly has parts. Get one free set of brake pads when you buy 2 brake rotors. Upgrade to Brake Best Select pads for just $10. Or upgrade to Brake Best Select Pro or Import Direct pads for just $20. Product availability. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Keeping Keeping your pet healthy can feel like a lot sometimes, but PetSmart makes it super simple. They've got food tailored to your pet's needs, supplements so you can stay ahead of any issues, and even prescriptions that show up right at your door. And here's the hack. Set it all up on auto ship. It just arrives when you need it. Plus, you save 35% on your first PetSmart auto ship order and 5% on the ones after that. You can stay on top of your pet's healthy routine without stressing. Order what they need and set up auto ship at PetSmart.com.
This week on Celeb News, Hollywood's newest posse. It's DirecTV's Genre Packs. Curated collections of your favorite channels and streaming apps together. Check out The Bad Boy, My Sports, The Heartthrob, Mi Español, and The Hot One, My Entertainment, with Disney Plus, Hulu, and HBO Max included. Starting at just $29.99 a month for the first 2 months. It's DirecTV like you've never seen it. New residential customers. Auto reduced monthly. Price higher the third month. Cancel anytime. Apps vary by pack. Prices may vary for third parties. Credit card and restrictions apply. 18 plus. See details at directtv.com/genrepacks.
WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington. A Cumulus media station.
Making sense of the news.
News Talk 105.9. News now.
A stalemate on Capitol Hill. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. As we head into day 3 of a government shutdown, House Speaker Mike Johnson tells Fox Business's Larry Kudlow the bill the House passed was nonpartisan.
Gosh, I would have loved to have loaded this up with Republican, conservative, limited government proposals, but we didn't do that because I needed to maintain the high ground.
House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries again calling for Republicans to come to the negotiating table.
Republicans have repeatedly shut the government down throughout the years. And does any reasonable person think that Donald Trump or J.D. Vance or Mike Johnson or Senate Republicans are behaving like individuals who actually want to reopen the government?
Democrats want Affordable Care and Act tax credits extended, as well as repealing some health care provisions in the One Big Beautiful Bill. An attack at a synagogue in Manchester, England, has left 2 dead and 4 injured. British police say the suspect who was killed by officers was a British citizen of Syrian descent. 3 others were arrested. The attack on Yom Kippur, the holiest day on the Jewish calendar. The number of immigration arrests in Illinois continues to climb.
In an update on X, the Department of Homeland Security now saying that ICE agents have made over 900 arrests of illegals across Illinois under the immigration operation dubbed the Midway Blitz. The latest arrests include a raid of a Southside homeless shelter.
They just came to do what they came to do. And what was really heartbreaking for me, there was very little compassion.
Shelter spokesman Chris Harris, 4 arrests were made there as ICE targets what it calls the worst of the worst.
Fox's Jeff Bonasso in Chicago. The Department of Homeland Security, with a post on X, directed at illegals that darkness is no longer their ally and that they will be found. On the eve of his sentencing on prostitution-related charges, Sean Diddy Combs wrote to the federal judge asking for mercy and claiming that he's reborn after spending a year in prison. America is listening to Fox News.
Law enforcement out in force. I'm Sharon Reardon from the Novak Motors News Desk. Good evening. The Metropolitan Police Department is stepping up patrols around houses of worship. The move follows a deadly Yom Kippur attack on a synagogue in the United Kingdom. Police have said there are currently no credible threats in the district. 7 News says the increased police presence will last throughout the Jewish high holiday. The latest in the legal battle between
I made me some toast. I'm going to eat it. I'm going to turn my camera off. Got 3 pieces of toast. I'm going to have a snack.
A Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals judge denied Fairfax County Public Schools' request for an emergency injunction in the case. Now, the Trump administration says FCPS's policies allowing transgender female students to use boys' bathrooms and locker rooms and vice versa violate Title IX. The Education Department is trying to take away federal funding from Fairfax County and 4 other Northern Virginia school districts. The denial of the injunction does not prevent FCPS from continuing its fight in court.
7 News' Tom Rousey. And a terrifying ordeal is over for 2 kids who were able to escape from a Stafford County hotel where they say they were brought by a stranger who kidnapped them.
An off-duty cop called deputies Wednesday morning after being flagged down by 2 kids who said they'd just run away from a kidnapper who was holding them at the Quality Inn on Green Spring Drive. The cop confirmed one of the kids had been reported missing. The Stafford County Sheriff's Department says 54-year-old Tyrone McDaniel of Woodbridge abducted the children in Baltimore City and brought them to the hotel. A search of the room turned up drugs and items related to prostitution. McDaniel was arrested on charges including abduction and human trafficking. claiming he's being held without bond. Heather Curtis on WMAL and WMAL.com.
WMAL News Time is 8:04. I'm Sharon Reardon, and now here's your WMAL traffic and weather from the Hagee Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
In Montgomery County, inner loop of the Beltway is slow between Rockville Pike and University Boulevard. On 395 northbound in Arlington, jammed up between 110 and the 14th Street Bridge. Eastbound 66 in Arlington is slow from Sycamore Street to Glebe Road. Westbound side of 66 in Vienna is jammed up between Nutley Street and 123. And 95 southbound in Newington, that's very slow from the Fairfax County Parkway to 123. And now from GarageDoorRepair.com to WMAL Storm Watch 7 forecast.
Tonight, partly cloudy with lows in the 50s. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with highs in the lower 70s.
Menopause doesn't mean slowing down. It means leveling up. At Jumpstart MD, we combine weight loss and hormone care into one powerful plan. And this October, save $200 on your health optimization plan. Call 855-JUMPSTART or visit jumpstartmd.com.
Air traffic controllers guide tens of thousands of flights every day, getting passengers and cargo to their destination safely. Aviation professionals always answer the call, but they can't do it alone. We must invest in modern equipment, facilities, and controller staffing. NACA, we guide you home.
My doctor prescribed me Viagra. It wasn't covered by my insurance, so it was costing me like $65 a pill. That's expensive.
Over 20 million guys like us use Viagra. Over a certain age, we just need it. I found a way to pay less than $3 a pill and get virtually the same effect of the $65 pill. I heard an ad just like this on the radio, called, and for $99, I got 40 generic versions of the $65 pill. Save yourself money and call right now and get over 40 pills for $99. There's no embarrassment here to use Viagra. If we're over 50, we need it, but not at high prices. Call now with your credit card and get the 40 pill special for just $99.
Call 800-213-9258. 800-213-9258. Again, that's 800-213-9258. Paid for by Steel Man Pills.
Now on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. Mark Levin.
Hello, America. Mark Levin here. Our number, 877-381-3811, 877-321-321. Well, we will take calls at the bottom of the hour. Our friends at the New York Post, Josh Christensen. Biden administration put Americans who flouted COVID mask mandate on no-fly list, which is reserved for terrorists. And, they keep calling the current administration, power hungry, breaks the law, trying to go after people they disagree with. The Biden administration put Americans who defied COVID-19 mask mandates on no-fly lists, some of which are ordinarily used to flag suspected terrorists, according to preliminary findings from an internal Department of Homeland Security investigation obtained by the New York Post. DHS flagged 19 Americans to Transportation Security Administration watch lists between September 30, 2021 and October 25, 2021, more than half of whom received the most severe no-fly designation. They were prevented from boarding domestic flights. At least 11 of those Americans were kept on the watch list until April 2022 when a federal court ruling forced the Biden administration to end its mask mandate. Remember what the bottom was with these masks? They did nothing. They did nothing. The 6-foot rule, they don't even know where that came from. That did nothing. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem said the Biden's TSA widely abused their authority when sharing the findings from the internal investigation, first reported by Fox, but what the prior administration had dubbed Operation Freedom to Breathe. Biden's TSA administrator, David Pokeski, and his cronies abused their authority and weaponized the federal government against the very people they were charged with protecting, Noem said. President Trump promised to end the weaponization of government against the American people, and we're making good on that promise. Noem fired 5 senior officials associated with the operation and referred relevant information to the Department of Justice Civil Rights Division, as well as to members of Congress for further investigation. Rand Paul, who chairs the Homeland Security and Government Affairs Committee, put out a brief report Monday stating at least 24 Americans were put on the list due merely to their association with a protest group called Freedom to Breathe Agency, which protested mask mandates. This guy, Rand Paul, is a real reprobate. He's a chip off the old man's block. Ron Paul votes a lot with the Democrats, not because he's one of them, because he's one of him. And so he voted against the continuing resolution. He votes for these things, almost sort of a Don Quixote move. He may object to something, but he obviously does not have the ability or the whatever it is to get many people to go with him who are conservative. He just doesn't. Now, this DHS probe also found about 280 Americans who were placed on watch lists. You believe this? After being involved in protests that culminated in January 6th. 5 of those U.S. adults got the no-fly designation over the objections of TSA's chief privacy officer. Over the objections. Putting Americans on the list is clearly unrelated to transportation security officers said in a January 13, 2021 email. TSA is punishing people for the expression of their ideas. Oh, I thought they believed in free speech, only for Islamists and Marxists and violent rioters, I guess. The day after the Capitol riot, a second TSA intelligence employee expressed alarm at adding some other people to watch lists for just being curfew breakers after the Capitol riot. I'll tell you what, this Biden regime, you talk about fascism, authoritarianism, all the rest of it, they were having a blast, man. A blast. They violated federal law. They violated federal law when it came to excusing student loans. They violated federal law when it came to vaccine requirements, coming up with a cockamamie argument related to OSHA. I mean, sick. And of course, putting boys in girls' bathrooms and locker rooms and all that. They were big on that one. I think Biden himself was very, motivated to do that. He just got weird about stuff, you know. The Bureau also botched investigations, putting both National Guardsmen and the wife of a federal air marshal on a no-fly list due to bad intelligence. I believe they put Tulsi Gabbard on a no-fly list. Other emails showed Biden's TSA over-relied on a George Washington University program rather than the FBI in determining whom to flag. It's a mess. What they were doing with the border, with TSA. They didn't fix FAA. They didn't give a damn. Buttigieg wants to be president, having failed, incredibly failed, as the Secretary of Transportation. Now he wants to be president. Like Newsom, destroyed California. Now he wants to be president. Like that fat slob Pritzker over there in Illinois. I know it's Illinois. That moron, he wants to be president. Boy, oh boy, talk about the Star Wars bar scene. They were more attractive than this crowd. Can you imagine this crowd in a line, Mr. Producer? Ooh. Who else wants to be president? What of the other reprobates want to be president? I don't know. By the way, I want to point something out. You know, I had this meeting with President Trump, as well as others. I'm not going to go into the specifics for lunch. I think it was early June. Immediately after that, there was a leak to Catarleson, who then put a social media post up there. I won't dig into that right now either. But I always wondered who was responsible for the leak. The vice president said he was not, and his office was not. I got to thinking, who would be responsible for the leak? We now know who it was. I'm not going to put the person's name out until the person is eventually removed. It was not in the vice president's office. So when they finally do something about this person, who is a rabid leaker about all things Jews and all things Israel, among other things, I'll let you know. But I definitely wanted to clear Vance and his office. They were not the ones. There's been incredibly horrific leaks to Axios, some to Mediaite, again involving Catarlson. Hey, I have a question for you, America. Mr. and Mrs. America. Have you heard any of these isolationists, these phony influencers, these Holocaust deniers, people like Catarlson, have you heard them condemn the executive order, which purportedly compels us to go to war on behalf of Qatar if Qatar's invaded? I have not. Have you, Mr. Producer? I've not heard them say a damn thing. Now, I don't listen to them, but I haven't seen any of the clicks. Did they say that Qatar's going to drag us into World War III, Mr. Producer? I don't think they did. No. Did they call Qatar a protectorate? Because it is now. It is. So the Hamas leaders in Qatar now have immunity. They're protected. They're protected. So it is interesting to me that none of these isolationist Neanderthals, these throwbacks, this Hate America First fake MAGA crowd, it's interesting to me they haven't said one syllable about this. They're not concerned in the least. Now, what does that tell you? What does that tell you, Mr. and Mrs. America? They side with the Islamists. But even worse, they're inconsistent because they're obsessed and driven by their hate for Netanyahu, Israel, Jews, and quite frankly, they're self-hating Americans. Self-hating Americans. That's what they are. They haven't said a damn thing. Not a word. Not a word. Do you want your children to die in Qatar, ladies and gentlemen? Do you? How about your grandchildren? I don't. For what? Not a word. They don't talk about Qatar's terrorist support, terrorist funding, 9/11, October 7. Not a word from the influencers. The influencers? Nothing. Nothing. It's amazing, isn't it? I'll be right back.
Mud, blow pen. News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
Air traffic controllers guide tens of thousands of flights every day, getting passengers and cargo to their destination safely. Aviation professionals always answer the call, but they can't do it alone. We must invest in modern equipment, facilities, and controller staffing. NACA, we guide you home.
My doctor prescribed me Viagra. It wasn't covered by my insurance, so it was costing me like $65 a pill. That's expensive.
Over 20 million guys like us use Viagra. Over a certain age, we just need it. I found a way to pay less than $3 a pill and get virtually the same effect of the $65 pill. I heard an ad just like this on the radio, called, and for $99, I got 40 generic versions of the $65 pill. Save yourself money and call right now and get over 40 pills for $99. There's no embarrassment here to use Viagra. If we're over 50, we need it, but not at high prices. Call now with your credit card and get the 40 pill special for just $99.
Call 800-213-9258. 800-213-9258. Again, that's 800-213-9258. Paid for by Steel Man Pills.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is
Time is
80%
it?
water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
Starting to get late.
I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Gain Super Flings are here to take your laundry to the next level.
Talking about Gain Super Flings. Super size laundry packs. These things are huge. Super fresh, super clean. Gain Super Flings.
Gain Super Flings laundry packs have 4 times the Oxy cleaning power and 3 times the Febreze freshness versus Gain Original Liquid.
Super fresh, super clean. Gain Super Flings.
Gain Super Flings for next level laundry.
Twilio empowers the builders who shape tomorrow. Whether you're scaling a startup or transforming an enterprise, you need a customer engagement platform that keeps up. Twilio gives you the power to build, test, and scale with confidence. connecting data, AI, and customer communication into one seamless open system. No silos, no barriers. Just everything you need to bring your biggest ideas to life. Learn more at Twilio.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why the big wireless companies want you on an unlimited plan? It's because they need you to help cover the cost of the 20-somethings who are using a lot of data every month. Fact is, according to the latest research studies, most people 50 and up, like me, only use 12 gigs or less each month. Don't get bamboozled by big wireless. At Consumer Cellular, pick what suits your needs. Whether it's 1 gig, 5, 10, or unlimited, the point is, pay for exactly what you need and nothing more. We use the same towers as the big guys, but since we don't own and maintain them, we can pass the savings on to you. Our plans start at just $20 a month, and you'll get the best customer service in the business. I want to invite you to join the millions of people who choose something better than big wireless, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Making sense of your world.
Thank you for your great insight.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
This is a major wake-up call.
Making sense of the news. WMAL, making sense of world events. Because those who don't know history are doomed to repeat it. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
Folks, a great Life, Liberty, and Levin, Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Some of you might be watching something else, baseball, football, tiddlywinks, I don't know. But definitely set your DVR permanently.
I don't want to tell you what I'm doing right now.
Fox, Life, Liberty, and Levin, Saturday, same as Sunday.
Matt,
the way you'll have it.
If you knew what I was doing right now, Matt, you giggle.
Really appreciate this one. And I have the A-team there, Senator Ted Cruz and former Speaker Newt Gingrich. I'm going to jump into this government shutdown issue. I'm going to take it apart and then glue it back together. We're going to have Mr. Senate conservative, that would be Ted Cruz, who's been involved in a number of so-called government shutdowns and filibusters related to them. One of the great speakers of all time, and that would be Newt Gingrich, who's going to discuss when the government was shut down, quote unquote, when they were confronting Clinton to drive down his spending and his deficits and to force him to balance the budget. Really the first time in God knows how long, and certainly the last time in God knows how long, and how that is to be distinguished majorly from what the Democrats are doing. And it's going to take numbers and an analysis of the process and make it very fascinating and intriguing. So please don't miss it. That's Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern. While it's front of mind, go ahead and set your DVR so you don't miss it, even if you can't watch it live. And of course, if you can watch it live, I think that's great too. You know, the most recent numbers are out. CNN and MSNBC are hemorrhaging viewers. There's really 5 networks that are doing very, very well. And of course, Fox News Channel is not only one of the 5, it's the top. And there's a reason for this. The American people hate the rest of the media. The American people don't trust the rest of the media, nor should they. It's a disaster for the rest of the media because they created this themselves. That's the truth. Here we have a Gallup poll. Let's see here. Republicans' confidence in mass media to report news fully, accurately, and fairly. You know what it is? It's at 8%. 8% among Republicans. Americans' confidence in the mass media has edged down to a new low. 28% expressing a great deal or fair amount of trust in newspapers, television, and radio to report the news fully, accurately, and fairly. This is down from 31% last year and 40% 5 years ago. Meanwhile, 7 in 10 U.S. adults now say they have not very much confidence, 36%, or none at all, 34%. The media, you did this to yourselves. Most of you should be fired, and they should start over again. I'm serious about this. Most of these people should be fired, and they should start over again. When Gallup began measuring trust in the news media in the 70s, between 68 and 72% of Americans expressed confidence in reporting. But by the next reading in 1997, it fell to 53%. just above 50% until it dropped to 44% in 2004. Now it's so far in the toilet, it's clogging up the sewer system, to be perfectly honest with you. 28% confidence right now. That's nothing. First time it's ever fallen below 30%. Now, I said Republicans, 8%. Republican confidence hasn't risen above 21% since 2015 and dropped to 8% for the first time in the trend. Independents' trust has not reached the majority level since 2003, and the latest 27% matches last year's historic low. All of the the Democrats, the narrowest of majority, 51% now express trust in the media. That ought to be 91%. They own the media. The Democrats populate the media. Clear generational divide in trust in the media.
Wow.
According to this analysis, 3-year aggregated data, 3 years of samples. Most recent 3-year period spanning 2023 to 2025, 43% of adults aged 65 and older trust the media, compared with no more than 28% in any younger age group. Now, in the early 2000s, Americans in all 4 age groups expressed relatively similar levels of confidence in the media. The reason is the media went absolutely nuts during the Donald Trump era. And they have lied, they have deceived, they've created pseudo events, they have censored and covered up. In other words, they've acted like Democrats because they are Democrats. There's a really great book on this called Unfreedom of the Press. Have you ever looked at that, Mr. Reducer? Unfreedom of the Press. It's my book. Yeah, it lays it all out. Chapter and verse, be perfectly honest with you. The bottom line, writes Scallop, confidence in the mass media is historically low, with fewer than 3 in 10 Americans not placing trust in newspapers. So what are they going to do about it? What is MSLSD going to do about it? What is the constipated newswork going to do about it? What are NBC and ABC going to do about it? CBS is under new management now, under new ownership. I think they're going to try at least bring it to the middle so there's some level of objectivity. So they're not spewing Hamas data. So they're not spewing Marxist propaganda. So they're not rooting openly and clearly for the Democrat Party. So they're not spending their time pushing lies and conspiracy theories about Trump. Hope is eternal, so I don't know. We'll see. We could hope that CBS does turn around now that Paramount was bought by a rational group of people. Even on Fox, we have our liberals. We have conservatives who don't agree. We do. But we have one thing in common. We're patriots. We love the country. We're not platforming Islamists. We're not platforming Marxists. We're not platforming people who want to destroy our society, destroy our culture and our country. We challenge them. So we have people that have some disagreements within the conservative tent. But we have one thing in common, and that is love of country. I don't think most of these media outlets do. Does CNN love the country? How so? How does it show that? MSNBC hates the country. Shows that all the time. And by the way, it's not just broadcast media. Look at the New York Slimes. It's never loved America. It's lied about the Holocaust. It's lied about Stalin's slaughter of the Ukrainians, 1932. It's lied about Hamas and its war on Israel with fake, phony pictures that it's used. It's a horrendous media corporation filled with liars and lying. Washington Post, looks like there's been some adjustment there, but not enough and not fast enough. So we'll see what happens there. But you look at the rest of the old corporate media platforms, they don't change. They're just dying on the vine. They will fight to the end to be stupid, to be left-wing, to censor, and to advocate. That's what's happening there. And they don't care. And you do. Which is why people aren't watching, CNN. They were not watching MSNBC. We'll be right back.
Did you think you want to come up on my panel there, Acid? Said I'm banned from your chat, right? There, fucking Pud Puller Patel. That is fucking hilarious. Pud Puller Patel. That's good. Hey, my nicknames have a tendency to stick. Oh, Tony, I fooled him with Pool Plunger. I went into that Vegas chat and JC's chat with that fucker. They had no idea who it was. And I fucking rated them all. I got them all good, Tony. I hate to fucking chronicle every fucking thing I've said. Especially Randy. How about you, Randy Justice?
Air traffic controllers guide tens of thousands of flights every day, getting passengers and cargo to their destination safely. Aviation professionals always answer the call, but they can't do it alone.
Come on, Randy.
In modern equipment, facilities, and controller staffing.
JC's boy, Randy. JC get mad when I say that. He's not my boy. Yeah, he is. JC wouldn't let me up on the panel. That fucking Patrick Rowe going to town, they're all getting sick of him.
Northern will help you get into your new home in 3 clicks of your heels. Getting approved is quick and easy, and with our meet or beat rate guarantee, you know you're getting the lowest rate possible. Our team is here to help you along the yellow brick road to home ownership with honest advice, personalized service, and support every step of the way. Click your heels, or just call or text, because at Northern, there's no place like home. Northern Credit Union, mortgage magic in the real world. Call or text 315-782-0155 or apply online at mynorthern.com. Federally insured NCUA, equal housing opportunity.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable Scent Beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppable bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. With Downy Unstoppable, you just toss, watch, wow, for all day freshness.
You need parts? O'Reilly has parts. Get 1 free set of brake pads when you buy 2 brake rotors. Upgrade to Brake Best Select pads for just $10. Or upgrade to Brake Best Select Pro. Or Import Direct pads for just $20. Product availability. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
Every day, companies you've never heard of are making
Internet seems quirky tonight.
name, addresses, photos, even details about your family, and sell it without your consent. Aura fights back. Aura removes your data from broker sites, keeps it off, and alerts you if your info shows up on the dark web. You also get VPN, antivirus, and a password manager. Start your free trial today at aura.com/listen. Protect yourself now at aura.com/listen.
I don't even have a hunting license. I can't go hunting. I haven't bought a hunting license. I don't have any tags.
By forcing controllers to continue working without pay, often 10 hours a day, 6 days a week, to keep our airspace safe. A shutdown would furlough
You get caught hunting without a license, they will take your rifles then.
and freeze the hiring and training of new controllers. Congress must act now to prevent a shutdown. Paid for by the National Air Traffic
You know, it makes you wonder.
We guide you home.
That fucking dumb fucker's live.
Easy as clicking your heels 3 times. At Northern Credit,
I'll check.
we know there's no place like home. We offer first-time buyer programs with no closing costs, VA, USDA, seasonal, new construction, and many other loan options.
If you're dreaming of home ownership, Northern will help you get into your new home in 3 clicks of your heels. Getting approved is quick and easy, and with our meet or beat rate guarantee, you know you're getting the lowest rate possible. Our team is here to help you along the yellow brick road to home ownership with honest advice, personalized service, and support every step of the way. Click your heels, or just call or text, because
That is one freaky person right there. That motherfucker is a freak.
Call or text 315-782-0155 or apply online at mynorthern.com. Federally insured, NCUA, equal housing opportunity.
Making sense of your world. News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Greatly appreciated.
Making sense of the news. WMAL, more than just politics, because laughter is the best medicine. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
Mark Levin doesn't just read the news, he makes the news. Call the Mark Levin Show now at 877-381-3811.
Reminder, 2 Jewish parishioners were killed and 3 others seriously injured outside of Manchester, England synagogue, Orthodox synagogue, on Yom Kippur. A 35-year-old terrorist by the name of Jihad al-Shami. What kind of a parent names their kid Jihad?
That's different in each state. They don't give them free here in New York State.
A British citizen of Syrian descent.
No, it don't matter if you're military or not. No, you don't get no discount or nothing.
As he tried to storm the Heaton Park Hebrew congregation.
Not in New York.
Was initially suspected of wearing explosives, later ruled out. 3 others were arrested on terrorism charges. 3 others were arrested. So he wasn't alone. He wasn't alone. I predict now, and this upsets me, that you'll see more and more of this in the United States of America. Global intifada, isn't that what Mamdani called it? Praised it, supported it. Now he's going back to his teachings. Don't show ankle.
Unless they change it. I haven't bought a hunting license since 2011.
Act like a Marxist.
That's how long it's been since I've hunted.
Blend in. Back off. Say whatever you need to say. Do whatever you need to do. But get in there. And
since then, it just my friends and family give me deer meat.
That's his goal.
That's where I get my deer meat from when I have deer meat.
He's going to destroy the infrastructure. He's going to destroy the business.
Once in a while, we go to Deer River Farms and we buy some.
He's going to destroy the food supply process. He's going to destroy law and order. Really tremendous police force there. He's going to destroy it. That's what he's going to do. He is a one-man wrecking ball. That's the plan. You've heard it here first. The goal is to destroy the city. That's his mission. Not because he's an intellectual, midget. Not because he's an ideological lowlife. He's all those things. But he's literally on the offense. He's on a mission to take down the biggest city in America. I'm so sick of Republicans saying, yeah, and then that'll send a message. Don't elect Democrats. We're not sending messages. We want to stop these people. He's on a kamikaze mission. To mix my generations. Kamikaze. He's a jihadist. That's what he is. That's what he is. The father, the mother, the whole crowd. Why do you think our new wonderful friends who were prepared to fight and die for, the inbreds that run Qatar, have subsidized this jerk's mother to put out her crap documentaries, her Jew-hating documentaries?
Not that I know of.
I'm sure you want your kids and grandkids to fight for that crap too.
Not
so
hunting.
We have it. Jihad al-Shami.
Like I said, I haven't bought a hunting license, so I don't know. Maybe they come up with something. I have no idea.
Covering up this guy's name as long as they could. I knew it wasn't Frank Smith, Al Robinson, Ernie Goldberg, Jihad.
I used to buy a permit to hunt on Fort Drum.
Fits the action. Sick. Absolutely sick. Greg in Vernon, New Jersey. How are you, Greg? Go right ahead, please.
Hi, Mark. Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah.
You know, there were so many wrong things with the United States right now, and most of it can be traced back to Obama. These Muslims are a problem.
All right, listen to me. You can't talk like that on a public radio. These Muslims are a problem. You can say the Islamists are a problem, the jihadis are a problem, something like that. Okay? Because you need to focus in on who the problem is.
That fucked the guy all up.
Okay. Don't make smart-ass comments on here that are intended to destroy this network. That's not going to happen, okay? You're calling the wrong show. This isn't your dinner table where you can act like a moron. Don't call back. You're banned for life.
Get out my phone, you dolt.
Of course, I don't know how to ban them for life, but we'll do our best. You give our cause a...
I must have been Jabba the Huffle or somebody.
Stupid-ass comments.
That was probably Edward Jam.
Let's go to Joel in Naples, Florida, the great WFSX. Go, please.
No, he has a Spanish accent.
Yes, Joel, go right ahead, please. Oh, it's not turning out very well. Last time, Joe, 3, 2, 1, you're out. Okay, let's move on. Let's go to Martin in Washington, Missouri. KRTK. What, Martin, how are you?
Pretty good. I'm a patriot just like you. I think this is the best times this country's ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree with the shutdown. The government is all Democratic ploy. They want to convert the country to communist nation.
Here's the problem. Here's the truth.
Go ahead.
83% of the government is never shut down. You're talking about 17%. That's the truth. That's the dirty little secret. This damn thing rolls on and on and on and on. You're talking about 17%. I'm going to explain it on Saturday night on Life, Liberty, and Levin too. They have what's called mandatory spending and discretionary spending. So here's what goes on, Martin. Congress has created spending that doesn't require annual votes, you know, for entitlements and things like that. So it's called mandatory spending. And then they have discretionary spending for other stuff. And so these battles are always over about 25, 27% of the budget, not the vast majority of the budget. And half of that discretionary spending is the military. So you're really talking about 13, 14%. And what the Democrats want to do is massively increase that by 1.5 trillion and give hundreds of billions of dollars to illegal aliens for health care. They want to take your money, Martin, and give it to illegal aliens, some of whom are marching in the street about overthrowing your government and burning the American flag. Not all, but too damn many. That's what they want to do. What do you think of that?
If you're in Iowa, it's like the middle of fucking nowhere.
It's not the allowed, but this
Iowa is out on the fucking Great Plains somewhere.
No, but that doesn't mean we have to pay for their health care, for God's sake.
No, we don't. We shouldn't pay for the health care. We shouldn't pay for any of that crap.
No, 100%. All right,
Just rolling hills.
Thank you, my friend. Trucker Gary, our friend, Cascade, Wisconsin, XM Satellite Radio. Gary, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing good, Mark. Man, I just want to thank you for everything that you do. I mean, first of all, I received your new book on power, and that is awesome. And I listen to you every day. I listen to you in the truck on XM Satellite.
That's what your son has to look forward to, Rocky. Come in here.
I was disappointed last night when you, not that your fill-ins aren't good or anything, but when I don't hear your voice, I get bummed.
Well, you're very kind. You know,
Iowa. What's in Iowa? Ottumwa?
And
where radar is from, Iowa.
I see a whole lot of holidays and so forth coming up in the near future. So my voice will be ubiquitous.
You have a racetrack. Want a horse track?
I love it. I love
for the county fair?
Yeah, I love everything that you do. It's unbelievable. And tonight when you touched on that that deal about when that so-and-so buffoon come up with that mask mandate thing. It was like, I lived through that period. I drove the truck every day, and the only time that I would put a mask on was when I had to get a load. Because if I didn't put a mask
State
on,
Fair. It's a movie,
load.
right?
And that was the biggest bunch of garbage that ever happened. I mean, how unhealthy, and it was a joke. It was an absolute joke. I just couldn't believe it.
And meanwhile, look how they behave when it comes to ICE. They're wearing masks for their safety and their family's safety. Look how the Democrats want to remove them. Isn't that sick?
It is sick. It is sick. The other day, I seen some young lady walking in the store, truck stop where I was at. She had a mask, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" You know.
Yes.
And
there's a few around here that still wear masks.
Worker, I worked through that whole thing. There wasn't a day that was missed that my wheels weren't spinning, and I said, "What in the world is this world coming to?" And every day, what you report to the American people, the patriots, what you report is so strong. And I can't believe these buffoons and these idiots and this killing and all this stuff that's going on. It just makes me sad.
Well, thank you, my friend. You're a good man, and God bless you. You take care of yourself. Be safe on the road. You know, the anniversary of Israel's October 7th terrorist attack is a few days away. You know, the left doesn't even give a damn about it. Marxist Islamists cheer it. They celebrate it. Can you believe that? Some of these bigot so-called phony influencers, they celebrate it too. Tongue-in-cheek. On this date, the world will come together, the world that has a soul, to honor the 1,200 young people that were slaughtered and raped and dismembered. Imagine what was going through their minds. And remember those who are still in captivity, being tortured and starved to death. Today, to stand with family members whose grief is inconsolable. And what happened 2 years ago also unleashed massive anti-Semitism, attacks on Jewish people all over Europe, even in this country. And anti-Semitic threats, deadly acts of violence. It's immense, it's constant. Podcasters that promote it, it's sick. That's why the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews created Flags of Fellowship. Now, it's a growing movement. Flags of Fellowship is a bold way to stand up for what you believe, a way to tangibly support the people of the Holy Land, the Jewish people everywhere, simply by planting an Israeli flag. You can join this historic movement by giving just $25 in order to acquire the flags, distribute the flags, the whole movement. Plant flags to support the International Fellowship of Christians.
We actually have a pretty good fair. I have a demolition derby. I don't know who played. I'm sure they had some band on Saturday night. And they had pretty good fireworks again this year.
844-866-IFCJ. Or go online.
Firefighters were at my door a couple days ago handing out envelopes for donations.
It's a headline right now in the New York Post. Hamas military chief rejects Trump ceasefire plan, aims to keep fighting. Report. Ronnie Reyes, Hamas's top military leader in Gaza, wants the terror group to reject President Trump's ceasefire proposal.
They're pretty active here where I live. They love the demolition derby. These fuckers love smashing cars up.
Who will help plan the October 7th terrorist attack, slammed Trump's 20-point peace deal as a way to eliminate Hamas without achieving any of its goals, the BBC reported. The terror chief, who holds the fate of the 48 hostages in his hands, called on the negotiators in Qatar to reject the deal, reportedly telling the team that he plans to continue the war with Israel. See, this is what Netanyahu, the IDF, the Israelis have to deal with. Even if Hamas now says, we're in, you got this guy, they're not going to stop. This is the naivete of so much of this, quite frankly. They're not going to stop. Now, there's an enormous amount of responsibility on on Arab countries and Muslim countries, some of which overlap, some of which don't, to demilitarize Gaza, to force the surrender of Hamas, and to do a whole bunch of other things in exchange for Israel withdrawing, giving Hamas what's left of it, clear passage if they give up their weapons, and so forth and so on. And they want their hostages out, and they want them out now. But here you have these guys who are defiant. I don't really think this Hamas speaks with one voice. I really don't. I'll be right back.
Mark Levin. News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
Yeah, we have. Acid Trip was just in here a couple minutes ago with his little mystic witch fucking account there. Pud Polar Patel is trying to ruin my YouTube career. Thinks he's driving me nuts. I'm actually at the point I'm tired. I'm ready to go to bed. Yeah, I'm ready to go lay down, turn TV on, fall asleep. Time for a break. News is almost over with. Well, of course, Charlie's gonna kiss JC's ass. He can't afford to have JC mad at him. That's for sure. Nobody else likes Charlie. He's wanting his welcome out with me. Hey, fucking battle buddy. More like fucking busybody. She wouldn't let me up on the panel. Apparently, she got sick of fucking Patrick Rowe. I'm not sure. I quit watching. Oh, Tony went back to Mexico. I was going to ask Tony. I'm pretty sure he's here, but he likes to be the shy type. But let's do this just to rebuke that fucking idiot Pud Polar Patel. You just asked that question right there. So, Tony, are you an American citizen? Because if you are, then what that fucking idiot over there says doesn't make any sense. You don't have a green card unless you're in the military. You guys realize that if you're on active duty, your military ID card is green. Yeah. the lettering, the stitching on it, the outline and everything, it's green. It is, it's green. I don't know, but Vegas is, I don't know what's going on there, but something ain't right. So what, JC's live? I don't even want to look. Like I said, I'm getting ready to go to bed, so I'm going to shut this one down and come back, see everybody on the flip side. Is that okay with everybody? I don't think I banned anybody. It says I have a few banned. I guess I can unban them all. Tito, Patrick Rowe, Doug Kittleson. Oh, how that fucker got on there. I don't know which one of those was Kevin's channel. I read them. I know which ones they were. It's empty now. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to go watch the rest of the baseball game. Yankees and Red Sox. I hope Boston loses. I'm praying for the Yankees. All right, stay out of trouble. I'll see everybody later. Excuse me.